Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are here for the first match of round one of the Gallagher Premiership. I'm very excited for this competition to kick off. And the first game, it is a very good one. We have got the game between the Bristol Bears and Saracens. And I do see we've got quite a few in the chat already. Quite a few of you in the chat already, I should say. It's currently 6:35 a.m. in New Zealand. We have got Xavier, we've got Katie, we've got Crazy NZ. We have also got Johnny Blaze there in the chat, and I do appreciate all of you being here so early. Hopefully you are enjoying your morning / afternoon, depending on where you are in the world, or night if you are over there in England for this matchup. But nonetheless, I'm excited, and I'm going to show you the lineups here so you know exactly who is going to be out on the field. Looking first at the Bristol side, they are the home side for this match, and there are some players who I haven't actually heard of, which means that it is very exciting because of the fact that we do get to learn these players all over again. And that is one of the best things about these rugby commentaries. Also, you guys in the chat helping me out along the way. We have got, hey, Hamish, how you do, your legend as well. Welcome in. It is very good to see you all here. And luckily for you, it is an afternoon game. G'day from Australia, says Xavier Brown. So that is commitment and a half, being up at 4:35 a.m. in Australia to watch this game. Do appreciate you being there. And please tell me you woke up early, mate, or have you not been able to sleep? Says Johnny Place. There's a little bit of both. I was originally going to go to bed at around 11, but then had to do a little bit of editing for my South Africa versus Australia preview that will be coming out at 10 a.m. New Zealand time. And then from there, just kind of kept on going and going. We have got there Kunakuinen as well as said, hey, Amish, right, there might be a war in the chat, but hopefully you guys will be able to get along relatively well for this match. But yeah, pretty much I ended up doing some late night editing up until maybe around, I got to sleep at 1 or 2-ish, and then I ended up waking up at around 6, which wasn't the best sleep. I have to admit, I kept on waking up, getting ready for this game, but it never quite happened because of the fact that I was just dreaming that it had started. But we have got the likes of Stephen Luatua in the number 6 jersey. He's going to be a good one to watch. Also, Callum Sheedy at number 20. That was almost the wrong number, number 10. And then also Charles Piatow, another player to mention, and that number 15 jersey was a very talented one as well. If I went to sleep, I would not wake up as well, says Xavier Brown. I'm a little bit the same. Crazy NZ is here as well. So welcome in, mate. It is very hard to get yourself out of bed when you are running off only a few hours sleep, but it's all good. We are here and we are ready to go, but I will show you the starting lineup now of the away side. Saracens recently promoted into the Gallagher Premiership, so there's actually 13 teams at the moment. So I am curious to know, do two teams get relegated, or is no one getting relegated this year? Do let me know if you do know. And then is someone getting promoted? That is my other question. How are they going to be running it for the Gallagher Premiership for this year? But I'm excited to see how this match goes between Bristol and Saracens. But looking through their side, they have got some very good names there. The likes of Billy Vunipola going to be starting at number 8. Also, I always struggle with his name, but it's Alex Lozowski. There it is. It's almost a little bit of Monsters Inc. that you got to throw in there. Lozowski is starting at number 10, and then it is going to be also Lewington out on the right wing, another player to be mentioning for this one. But Ben Earl in the number 7 jersey, not a terrible player at all either, so it's going to be exciting to see what these guys can do. And we have got Dreaming About Rugby dedicated bro as well, says Johnny Place. It's a blessing and a curse, the fact that all I do is rugby, because when you have a dream that you're doing a rugby commentary and then you forget every player's name, and then you wake up and you're like, oh, we're still a few hours away, and then you get up and then you do forget everyone's name, then that's when it gets a little bit tough. And we have got there, I know Sebastian isn't here yet, so I'm going to just say go Saracens as well, says Katie Dixon. Lozowski. Is it Lazowski? Maybe it's not Lazowski. It might be Lazowski. I really struggle with some of these names. I'll be honest, even though a lot of them are English, they still don't roll off the tongue too well. We have got there, you can talk to me, Kunakuinen. Questions, what does your name mean? As well, says Johnny Blaze. And also, we have got there, Nick, has massive potential, in my opinion. I wonder if he's on EJ's radar, which of course is Eddie Jones. We're going to have to wait and see. I know Marcus Smith was a player who really made his way through those rankings for Harlequins. Didn't get selected for England originally, and then he got selected for the British and Irish Lions. Or am I talking about Sam Simmons? I'm talking about Sam Simmons, I believe. I'm getting my players all muddled up here in the morning. But luckily, we have still got 5 minutes to kick off, so I will wake myself up, and then I will be absolutely rearing to go for this match that will be taking place between Bristol and Saracens. Looking through the benches as well. We are going to have a quick look, and we have got some good names there, including Manu Vunipola, who will be starting at 22, and then also Harris starting in the number 23 jersey. Other than that, though, maybe Bedlow and Randall, I think, are really the only players on there that I've really had a little bit of knowledge about in the past. But as we know, any competition that starts, when I don't know many of them at the start, that is not normally the case at the end of the competition. I normally have learned them pretty well, and that is one of the most fun things about it, I think, is the factor of just being able to relearn all these players or learn these players for the first time with all you guys in the chat as well. Do you watch rugby league? I do a little bit. I haven't been able to watch it as much as I would have liked to over the past little while, purely because of the fact that normally there's a rugby union game on at the same time. But I very much enjoy a bit of NRL. I know that last night the Sea Eagles beat the Roosters, so they have been able to go through, but they are just showing the starting lineups and reserves for both of the sides at this stage. Pat Lamb is the director of rugby over there at the moment. We've got there, yep, it's a Polish name. W's in their name are often pronounced as a V as well. So it's Lizovsky. That is very useful information. So I do thank you very much for that. Big love, big love. I kicked a kitten and shouted at a pregnant lady in honor of the Saracens Bears by 40 as well, says Sebastian. And we have got here he is from Katie as well. I feel so evil because I laughed about that, Sebastian, as well, says Jody Plays. At least you didn't laugh about it on camera like myself. So I'm in a lot more trouble than you are. But we'll look through 13 sides in the Gallagher Premiership. We're in the situation of Harlequins, who did win it last year. They will be able to do it back to back, but there are a lot of teams that could try and change that, including the team that are going to be playing, or the two teams, I guess you could say, that are going to be playing in this game, because there are quite a few good ones, that is for sure. But Lazowski in the number 10 jersey for the Saracen side, they are showing him once again, and I have now heard the pronunciation, and now I will not have Monsters Inc. in my head. It will be how you're supposed to say it there. We have what's got there. The only instance where my vampire brother and I disagree, thousands of years in the coffins, and we're fine. But when it comes to rugby, we're vampires as well, says Katie Dixon. And also we have got, are there any Aussies and New Zealanders playing, says Xavier Brown. We haven't got a lot in this one. I guess Stephen Luatua, he did play for the Blues for a little while. Is he a Kiwi, or does he fall under one of the islands? I feel like I should know that information, but I can't quite think of it off the top of my head. But unfortunately, other than him, I'm not sure how many Kiwis and Aussies we have actually got. I'm looking through the starting lineups, and I'm not really seeing too many familiar faces for us down under. But that is something that is very exciting at the same time, because of the fact that we will get to see some all new players, such as some of these young talented ones coming through the ranks. And just setting up the scoreboard here. Do let me know your prediction for who you think is going to be scoring the first try of this match, and it is the exact player, and we will wait and see if anyone can get it. But now Saracens making their way out for the first time this year. They are going to be in the Premiership for the first time since a couple of years ago as well. Luatua as well, says Johnny Blaze, and also top 5 this year will be Quins, Wasp, Bristol, Sarries, and Leicester as well, says Johnny Blaze. And of course the top 4 make their way into the Champions Cup, which now next year I think the South African sides taking part in the URC are actually able to qualify for. So that will be interesting to see what happens in that regard. But at this stage now, we are getting very close to the kickoff, and it should be an exciting game. Normally, these two sides love to score quite a few points. They've got good luck, brother, as well from KD Dixon. But now it is going to be time. Charles Piatel making his way out onto the field in the number 15 jersey. The Bristol Bears supporters are getting behind everyone at this stage. Are they going to be able to get a home win? We will have to wait and see. But the Bristol fans, there are plenty of them. I'm not sure what the attendance is going to be for this game, but it looks like it is pretty solid indeed. But we have got only a couple minutes till we get to the kickoff, and then we are ready to go. As the Champions League, the equivalent of the soccer's Champions League, it is a little bit, but then I would say it's probably a little bit less popular than the other competition. In terms of the Champions Cup is absolutely huge, because you've got kind of the teams from the Premier League, the Bundesliga, EPL, that's all. Yeah, I guess you got a couple of EPL teams in there as well, I believe, but there are a lot of teams in that competition. This one, you've got the likes of teams from the English Premiership, the top 14, and also the Pro 14 will be the other one, / now the URC is going to be the other competition that they can come from. So it's going to be exciting to see who is going to be qualifying, but it is a big competition in the Northern Hemisphere for their kind of Champions Cup. My man as well, says James, welcome into the live stream, Matt, and tried to find this match on TV, but of course, it's only NFL and soccer on right now, says Katie Dixon. And also we have got, thank you very much. So excited for the new season of the Premiership. I am as well. I didn't get to watch as many games last season as I would have liked to, but we've got the round of applause at the moment. And the crowd, there are plenty of them there ready for this game. And nonetheless, we are getting ready for the kickoff. Ladies and gentlemen, Bristol Bears taking on Saracens. That's a familiar face. It is going to be Wayne Barnes, who is the head referee for this match. The TMO is Tom Foley, also Paul Dix, and Jamie Lee is going to be in charge of the assistant referee job. I'm excited. I've always said I'm excited many times on this live stream match. You guys know anytime I say I'm excited, it is normally because of the fact that the words don't want to roll off the tongue. But Stephen Luatua in the number 6 jersey for the Bristol Bears. Can he get himself a try today? Who knows? Maybe. We will get to see him get one. But Saracens going to be kicking off left to right, and the whistle has been upon us, and we are ready for the Gallagher Premiership 2021. Going to be taken nicely straight away by Saracens to get us underway, and they've got the ball just inside of their 22. Passing it back now. I am just getting the lineups up as well. It is going to be Andy. Is it Uren? Who is in the number 9 jersey, the pronunciation there, and he is going to be going for the box kick straight away, protecting him a little bit there. The big forwards trying to stop the charge down. And of course, someone very good with the charge down. Normally, Mara Toje is not there for Saracens. Also, there is no sign of Owen Farrell for them as well. Who else are they missing? They're missing quite a few. I don't know whether or not they have actually got the other Vunipola, which is Marco Vunipola, of course. So we have got there into the chat some of the NFL players, super athletes as well in there. But now it's going to be hit up there by Saracens. Are going to be just inside of the half of the Bristol Bears, and it's going to be an early opportunity for Ella Davies. It's going to be Don Morris with a bit of a carry there. Once again, passed across through the hands, and now the Bristol Bears are going to take the possession back, and they are just inside of their half. Going firing it back into the pocket, I should say, and Bristol Bears going for the 50-22. Wasn't quite able to curl round enough, and Saracens now going to be returning fire with the kick downfield. Taken nicely once again. Charles Piatel hitting the ball up with the step as well. Almost able to go through the gap. A great low tackle from Saracens. Kicking high now. Could be a 50-22 once again. No, going straight into the hands of it was Abatoyimbo is the pronunciation there. Some of these days are going to get me a little bit at the start just with trying to pronounce them at 6:45 in the morning. Indeed, he is not bro as well, says Crazy NZ. And also we have got there, he's not in any Kiwis. Good books as well. And that is, of course, for Wayne Barnes. Piatal takes it again. And anytime he gets that ball, there is a roar. Callum Sheedy now kicking it in behind, just going straight back down the middle of the field. It's a game of force back to start us off for the Gallagher Premiership. Saracens now, he is down the touchline. And now it will be on the halfway line, Sheedy. And then a returning Lewington. Now we are on the touchline, and it will be the first line out of the game for the Bristol Bears. But it seems like it's going to be a little bit of an early kicking battle for this one. It is going to be Harry Thatcher now throwing that one and taken nicely. Going back now, Uren. Passing it across, and it's going to be now the man in the number 8 jersey, Nathan Hughes. Was looking like he will be dangerous throughout the season. Little chip in behind. Our Sheedy cross kick almost going through, and it's going to be kicked forward by Charles Piatel, just playing a bit of football with it. And he's going to be straight on the ball as well. Almost able to get the penalty for a side, but the Saracens able to clean up inside of their own 22. This game started at a frantic pace between these two sides, that is for sure. But Saracens have got this one 20 metres out from their own line, and it's going to be rolled back now by Ella Davies. And he will be looking for the touchline once again, I would think. No, he's going straight down the middle of the field. Taken nicely. Going to be going back across Nathan Hughes. Hit hard in the tackle. Bristol Bears still have the ball, though. Once again, kicked him behind by Uren, looking for the 50-22. So the question of whether or not we would see the 50-22 used throughout this competition, straight away we can see that it is going to be a kicking game for both of these sides. And if they get that opportunity, they will try and go for it kicked high here. It's going to be a challenge in the air. No, it's going to be taken very nicely by Abatoyimbo. Once again, now it's going to be back, and they've got the advantage in the penalty to Bristol Bears, and that is not what Saracens were after, because they actually thought they were going to be getting that penalty. But instead, it was won by, I believe it would have been in the number 3 jersey, Max Laheath, who was able to get that one, but we have got Roll It and Lit It as well. Steve Sebastian and also Puff Puff Pass as well in the chat from Johnny Plays. And also, I honestly don't know what's happening with the squads at the moment. No, Atoje, Marco Farrell, Maitland, Jamie Daly, I didn't think this team could get any worse than how they are. So Sebastian, and also we have got Wait Marco isn't on the bench. I believe on the bench it is actually Manu Vunipola, who is in the number 22 jersey for this one. So there is a Vunipola on the bench. It is just not the one that we are familiar with as well. We have got Fuff versus Nathan Hughes 2018 legendary tackle as well. Says that Johnny Plays are actually going to be taking on the 3 here. Callum Sheedy wants to get them some points on the board to start this one off for Bristol because of the fact that it is a little bit tough out there at the moment. There's been quite a few kicks. We're seeing a huge amount of kicks from both sides, not just one. They are just returning fire. We haven't got there. This is more kicking than Super Rugby Union. I have noticed as well, says Xavier Brown, and that one's going to be lined up, and Sheedy has got it through the middle. So the score now is going to be 3-0 to the Bristol Bears after 5 minutes in this game, and that is much to the delight of the home crowd. They are getting behind them at the moment, as they will because of the fact we haven't had Premiership Rugby for a wee while. The last time we saw the Bristol Bears, they were knocked down in the semi-finals up against Harlequins. They will not want that to happen again. It's going to be taken nicely by Lazowski here inside of the 22. Told to return it as well. Okay, they are saying that Semi Radradra isn't too far away. He's going to be training with them very soon as well. Hard to pay attention while blazing up. All focus is on the Herb as well. Says that Johnny Blaze, and also we have got there. Missed that, wasn't paying attention as well. But damn, can't type today. Fat fingers as well, says Katie Dixon. I mean, I'm struggling to speak as well at the moment, but we are getting through it together at this stage, and we have still got many games left. I'm not sure whether or not I will be covering the game between Wellington and Taranaki because I might have to sleep during that time. Overthrow from Saracens, and now Thatcher would have claimed it there. Oh, sorry, Thacker. Now it's going to be Piatal once again. But he has dropped that ball, unfortunately, for his side. And it's going to be rolling forward now into the hands of that's a hard name to say, Oba Tayinbo. Taking it now, Callum Sheedy once again. Kicking it down the middle of the field. Just the territory battle between Bristol and Saracens here. Setting up now, and it's going to be the kick back from Saracens. Finding a little bit of space in between 2 defenders inside of the 22. Piatal's got this one. Going to put it on the left boot. And he has sent it downfield, and he's found the touchline as well. Do they take it quickly? They decide against it. Great kick there from Charles Piatal, and now it's going to be the line out 40 metres out from their own line here. Saracens, we have got there. No first blood Bears. What you got to do, Saracens, as well, says Katie Dixon, and also just prop Kieran up in front of the stream and tape a sign on his face that says Taranaki. I feel like that would be a lot of fun to do, although there would be a lot of angry people at me at the same time, probably land on the Barretts. As I says Katie Dixon, it is indeed. And all 3 Barretts going to be playing in the match. That tackle looked a little bit high, and now it's going to be Bristol Bears. No, Saracens get the penalty there. And it was the player who was not rolling away, unfortunately, there for the Bristol Bears. And now it does mean Saracens get themselves their first penalty off this match. So we have gone 1-1 at the moment. And it was Thacker who just ended up giving away that penalty, unfortunately, for them. Terrible teams could never beat the Auckland Blues as well. Says it right, we welcome in, mate. What time is it there at the moment? Do let me know. As you know, my time zones are terrible. But yeah, there are certainly some hard names out there at the moment for myself, trying to remember all of these players. But it looked a little bit high there from Thacker. So because of that, I think that was part of the penalty, and also the fact that he didn't roll away Rugby legend as well, says Johnny Blaze. And also we have got, tell you what though, Callum Sheedy is such a reliable kicker. No wonder the Bears end up in the playoffs every season. He's been very solid for them, Sheedy. And also they have got the likes of Charles Piatal, Stephen Luatua, 2 very experienced players to have in that side. 8 p.m. at the moment. So it is a perfect time to be watching a little bit of rugby going to the front here for Saracens, starting with a bit of a rolling maul. Can it go a little bit further forward? It's breaking off the side, and now it's starting to make a few metres, but it has been dragged down by the Bristol Bears here, and it's a penalty. No, sorry, it's a scrum to Bristol, and I believe it would have been Nathan Hughes who got straight in there. He is rocking an interesting haircut at the moment with the bright blue at the back, but they were able to win that one. Welcome, brother. I hope you're doing well as well. And also we have got, I imagine Taranaki would just be Jurassic Park, and you drive around in robot cars and look at T-Rexes all day, aka Barretts as well. And there are plenty of the brothers and sisters in that Barrett family, so you probably always get to see a sight of one of the Barretts via Taranaki, but they are showing Nathan Hughes. Can he have a big game? Also, Piatal on the side used to play for the Blues, of course, Rugby itch. I want to imagine being a BF of one of those Barrett sisters going home to Taranaki instead of meeting 3 Barretts whom are ABs. You would feel so unimportant as well. Says Johnny Blaze, although if the backyard rugby gets whipped out, you'd be pretty up against it, I would think, as well, depending on the teams Tell you what, if you played a game of backyard, oh, that's a good scrum there from Saracens, and Nathan Hughes under a huge amount of pressure now, and almost going to be the ball of Saracens, is it? No, they have still got this one in Uren now, looking like he will be passing this one back, or maybe just going for the kick himself. But that is a question and a half. If you were to play backyard rugby with the Barrett brothers, who are you wanting on your team? You get one of them, but the other two have to be on the other team. I feel like that's an obvious answer, though. That's a challenge in the air. Has gone backwards. So Saracens are now going to have this ball, and it will be in the hands of Dominic Morris now, trying to drive his way forward. Nathan Hughes lines him up 40 metres out now. Saracens passing it back across field. Big contact once again. They have taken that one. They've got the advantage as well for the player not rolling away, so they can do plenty with this. Going to be passed across into the name or into the hands of Lazowski. It's been ripped away, and now it's going back for the penalty as well. We have also got there in there. They could probably murder you with a single thought as well. Or Geordie and Kane. How about that for a compromise as well? Says it, Katie Dixon. I feel like that is a fair one indeed. I'm off now, but hope Argentina win tomorrow. Come on, Box as well. Says it, Rugby Itch. Of course, that first game going to be Wallabies taking on the Springboks, and that should be a very good contest between those two sides because we don't know what way it's going to go. It's at Suncorp Stadium, so anything can happen at Suncorp Stadium. We've seen the Wallabies not lose there since 2016. That is a wee while indeed. So we will have to wait and see whether or not that will be the case for this match as well. We have also got there in the chat. Hey guys, all good. Hope all as well from Rugby Itch. In the chat, we have got there. They could probably murder you with a single thought from Katie Dixon. But Wayne Barnes here, I believe they will be equaling here, and it will be Lazowski who will have the kicking responsibilities in the last season's kicking at 73%, 38 from 52. Not too bad for that man on the number 10 jersey at this stage now, kicking for some points. 11 minutes into this game, and we could be into the situation of being 3-all. Oh, it's came run nicely, and it is going to be 3-all now between these two sides in this game. Saracens sitting on 3, Bristol Bears sitting on 3. A little bit of a slower start for both of these sides in this contest, but once there is one try, normally there are quite a few. I remember that game between Harlequins and the Wasps that I watched at about 3 a.m. I didn't live stream it last year, and it became 44-42 with Harlequins getting the win in the end. And I just remember being hooked on that game from start to finish for that one, just because you never knew what was going to happen. Marcus Smith, actually the player, scoring the final try of that match. And have a good one, Rugby Itch. Cheers, you cheeky bugger as well. Says Shotty Blaze. And also we have got morning Amish, morning all as well. Says David Dales. Welcome in to the live stream, mate. We are currently sitting 3-all between these two sides after 11 and a half minutes, almost taken beautifully in the air by Saracens. But I believe that was actually Piatel leaping through the air to get that one. But yeah, I hope you guys are all well. And do let me know who you think is going to be winning this game. I believe Bristol Bears are heavily the favourite, but Saracens are not an easy side to be able to beat. The ball has been kicked high. Perfect way to kick just outside of the 22, and now there is pressure on Saracens. Ball went backwards, so it is still going to be available, and more than likely they will be looking for a couple more phases. Days. Now it's a big hit on Vunipola, sorry. I said it almost with the English accent. We haven't got Hamish, brother. I'll be back for the second half. Something come up. Apologies. No worries, Sebastian. You go deal with whatever you got, mate. We are, of course, we're still going to be here pretty much all day. Like at any stage, other than maybe in the afternoon when I am sleeping. Big counter right there from Nathan Hughes, trying to get that ball for Bristol. But do let me know who you think will be the first try scorer of this game. Because at this stage, I'm still on the fence a little bit in terms of who I think will be able to get it. I think it will be Bristol Bears, and I'm going to say it's going to be Nathan Hughes if they can get a scrum relatively close to the line of Saracens. But now passing it back, and once again gives it to Thacker. Another carry just inside of the half of Saracens, and it's going to be an advantage as well. So can go for a bit of a kick in behind. It's going to be Callum Sheedy just hooking it round, taken nicely, and passed on the outside. It's rolling loose here, and it is going to be the penalty. And they will be going back. That was a nice offload there from Lloyd. But they will be going back to the halfway line. Hope all is well. Sebastian as well, says Johnny Blaze. And also we have got a brother from Katie Dixon. And also we have got good morning / evening buddy as well. I believe it is currently sitting at 1 p.m. in the Albuquerque as well. Rugby first thing on a Saturday. How good as well, says Johnny Blaze. And my brain is slowly warming up to the fact that we are going to have plenty of rugby on today. And hopefully I will be able to get all the names right in the second half of this one. But we have got 2 games between New Zealand and Argentina. That is the second game. And then also it will be the Wallabies taking on the South Africans at Suncorp. That will be kicking off at 7:05 p.m. New Zealand time. But we're going to have plenty of preview to talk about for that one. We're going to have the suit. We're going to have this off as well. And we're also going to have a little bit of a special treat in some regards. I guess depending on how you look at it, there's another one. You'll be all right, Amish, as well. And it is currently 1 p.m. Says that Katie Dixon, but they are going to be kicking at the post here. Callum Sheedy. Can he get this one from 48 metres out? That would be possibly... It's still in his range, Callum Sheedy. He kicks them very nicely, 1 from 1 at the moment. There is a man in front of the camera from Saracens, so they are switching, and he is going to strike it. It's out to the side, it's coming round, and he has got that one as well, Callum Sheedy. So now the score is going to be 6 points to the Bristol Bears and 3 for Saracens. I've just had a little bit of a thought, and I hope I am wrong here. Imagine if this game has no tries. Surely not. I think we're going to get quite a few in this game. I think it's going to start opening up the floodgates. I'm going to start going. My voice is starting to go already. It's going to be taken by Nathan Hughes off kickoff, just kind of holding the number 11's head down there, which is the Segan for this one, going short side to Urin now. And it's going to be offside is the call there, number 8. So it would have been actually Vunapolu who got penalised there for rushing up just a little bit too early. Do we get George? Is he the treat as well? Says Katie Dixon. He is more than likely, you guys probably know by now, he's probably going to be at the pub for this one, George. So I think we are going to be missing out there. And we have got your shaving it, brother, going to smooth. Going to be smooth like babyface. Glennie will be listed for you as well. Says Showmates. No. None of that, of course. But speaking of that, I guess just a little bit, Isaac is actually the one who made the thumbnail for this video. So big shout out to Isaac there. I decided because of the fact that we had so much rugby on, I was frantically editing, but I was on a Discord call with Isaac, and he actually made the 2 thumbnails for my Gallagher Premiership live stream. So I appreciate that a lot, Isaac, for your little bit of help for the Kiwi Lads Enterprises, I guess you could say. But Thacker now going to be throwing this one in for Bristol Bears. It's a good throw straight down the middle, taken by Piatel. Now Sheedy passes it back. It's going to be a nice backline move in here for Bristol, trying to build themselves some real momentum. Currently sitting 16 minutes, and it's going to be Urin with a terrible pass to Piatel, though, and it's going to be a knock on, and it will be going back for the scrum to Saracens. We have what's got there. Hey, buddy, bit long for us today as well, says David. And also we have got 10 Isaac in the chat from Katie Dixon, and also I'm so ready, not falling asleep from the booze woosies like last weekend, says that Katie Dixon. But yeah, pretty much because of the fact that Springboks kind of let me down last week, and I did say at the start of the match, if they ended up losing, I would get rid of this part and just leave the mustache. So I'm going to be a Nick White kind of understudy, I guess you could say, except his mustache is a lot better than mine, that's for sure. But that was some nice play from Bristol Bears getting it going for. But now the scrum, they are showing him once again, Nathan Hughes. He's looking dangerous in that number 8 jersey. Kiwi Ladders, Redrado playing, says Ronaldo. Unfortunately, not quite, but he is back with them training. So he isn't too far away. I'd say we will see him within a couple of weeks. And looking at the other games this week, while we are at it, at least I thought I had them, but I don't actually have them here as a little pop-up. So I will get them up on my phone instead to tell you guys exactly who is going to be playing in this match and also who is going to be playing in the next games. But the next one we are covering on the channel, I guess, is the best one that we should mention, and that is going to be the match between Exeter and Leicester. And that is going to be taking place in the middle of the night, I believe, 2 a.m. as well. And we have this guy getting ready for November. Says that Johnny plays. I think I've been getting ready for it for almost all year. This part just doesn't seem to want to kind of thicken and grow a little bit more. But Callum Sheedy once again inside of his half. Going to be slotting over the penalty perhaps. If he can get it, currently sitting 2 from 2 straight out in front as well for that man Sheedy. We have also got there, same here, bud. American bourbon and rugby don't mix well for me as well, says David. Sorry. But yeah, 2 from 2 at the moment for that man in the number 10 jersey, Callum Sheedy for Bristol. We have got there also, yeah, the bourbon would be switching the difficulty setting to heroic. That's for sure, says Katie. Struck it well again. Mr. Consistent straight down the middle from Sheedy. And now the score is going to be Bristol Bears 9, Saracens 3. And that thought that I had before is still in my head of, are we going to get a try in the first half between these two sides? Make sure you get some rest sometime today, mate, as well, says David. Yeah, I think because of the fact that I wasn't able to get as much sleep last night as I would have liked to, I think now it does mean that I am going to be sleeping probably through that Wellington Taranaki game, unfortunately, or I might be getting up just before it, but I'm not sure whether I will be able to squeeze in the live stream for it. But then that will be so that I can get 8 hours so that I can pretty much stay up all night for our other live streams that are going to be coming up throughout the next 24 hours. Saracens, what are you doing out there, bros? As well, says Katie Dixon. And at this stage, I mean, kicking, I guess you could say, is the best way of describing it. We've had a lot of kicks, but now Bristol Bears clearing that one just outside of the 22. Kick from Urin there, and now, or Urin, sorry, and now it will be the Saracens line out. Wollenscroft, can he get this one straight? He needs to. The last one was overthrown, and Bristol Bears were able to pounce on it. This one needs to go straight to the man. It's overthrown again, but it's going to sit up And Lazowski was able to take it, which was very lucky for the ball. Bounces out the side. Nathan Hughes now gets it to Pia down backline movement here for the Bristol Bears. Firing it out onto the wing to Lloyd. Oh, it's going to be Steppen. He has tried to offload as well. Loose ball there, but taken by the Bristol Bears just inside of their own half. Now it's going to be Sheedy right next to the breakdown with a step, and he was nailed in the tackle by Wollenscroft. High kick there from Uren once again. Coming down to the hands of the fullback for Saracens, which in this one is Abatoyimbo. Still can't pronounce that one. And we have got, hey, how you doing, my mate? Hamish as well says, George, welcome into Livestream. I'm doing very well, thanks. And at this stage, I'm very excited for all the rugby we have got. We have also got Ollie Wilson in the chat. He said, are you going to watch the All Blacks versus South Africa tonight? It is All Blacks versus Argentina and South Africa versus Wallabies, and we are going to be covering both of those games on the channel as well. So if you haven't already, be sure to hit that subscribe button. We have got good evening from Wales, people. Hope everyone's good, said Thick Boy. And I hope you are too, mate. You will be very excited for the URC starting up next week. I would think more than likely. At this stage, just the kicks going back and forth. Oh, rush defence there. And because of it, it does now mean that Saracen's going to have this ball 40 metres out from their line. The ball is loose. Nathan Hughes wanted it, but not allowed to go for it there. Davies passing it back. Backline movement looking like it's opening up here. Once again, it will be the man in the number 11 jersey, which in this one is Shigan. Getting another carry. Davies passes it back. They're going to run it for Wollenscroft. Offload there, linking up with the front row there. And now they've got numbers Vunapola on the outside. Drawing pass here for Saracens trying to find their gap. Still on the halfway line. The Bristol Bears defence is very strong. It's a penalty to them here. And because of it now, I believe it was for the clean out. They did get him penalised. What part of New Zealand are you from? I am from South Canterbury. So I'm kind of halfway in between the Crusaders and the Highlanders in terms of location on the kind of country, I guess you could say, or in the country. It's a better way of saying that. You've fallen asleep. Yeah, you're looking for your mums in the stadium as well. Says Katie Dixon for Saracens. And also we have got there farting around out there as well, says Katie Dixon. And in there we have got Saracens. Come on, says Katie about Wollenscroft. Good offload there into the hands of it would have been Ralph Adams-Hales. And then from there, it was just a nice backline movement, but weren't quite able to break through, even though they had those numbers. Stepping back on the inside, it was Abatoyimbo, but just wasn't quite able to link up the way that he would have liked to. And Wayne Barnes gives the penalty in the breakdown. Who is not very happy at the moment. It was Lazowski, I believe, who did get penalised there. But now, it was actually Lazowski who will now be taking the kick from 53 metres. It's a decent nudge if he is able to get this one over. Lazowski struck it well. I think it's got the distance, does it? No, it's just fallen short. The accuracy was there. Well, it's going between the sticks, but fell short. And it is an unconverted penalty for Saracens. And it's a great kick downfield from Charles Piatel. Once again on the left boot, getting it into the half of the Saracens. They just haven't really been able to spend too much time inside of the 22 of the Bristol Bears. Yet we have also got, hope you good. I'm mega excited for next week. It feels like a long time since I had local club rugby as well. Says Thick Boy. And also we have got, oh man, rip that Timaru Doctor's daughters. Very, very sad. It is indeed. And I believe there has been a charge as well for murder to the mother at the stage, although I'm not sure how much I'm allowed to talk about that. But yeah, it is very sad for that man. But we have got there, guess where Hamish lives and win $1 million as well. Says that Katie Dixon. And also we have got George Fokker, as said there as well. Greetings from Africa as well. So welcome into the live stream. What time is it there at the moment? That looked like it is going to be a quick throw taken by Saracens. Oh, he tried to find the break and it's going to be saved there. Or is it? No. They're going to say, oh, it's going to be a yellow card. Is it for a deliberate knockdown? Now, I'll tell you what, this is going to be unfortunate because of the fact that the guy kind of knocked it forward, but then he ended up kicking it on his boot. So I think they are going back for something originally actually is the call here. Yeah, he's off the field. What is the touchy doing there? Davies passes it back into the hands of Lewington, who wasn't actually on the field of play. So that is why they're going back for the line out to Bristol Bears. They kind of kept on playing as if nothing was happening, other than the fact that he was actually not on the field of play. At the time, we have got Hamish. I'm going to the Bay of Plenty Premier Rugby Division Club final today. Anyone from here or anyone from here from the Bay as well. And they are playing for the Ranfurly Shield tomorrow, which is going to be very exciting. Oh, flat ball there, but it is dropped, unfortunately, by Leula. And because of that now, it will be the opportunity for Saracens once again. Wide floaty pass going to be taken nicely by Tompkins in the number 12 jersey, just driving his way forward here for Saracens. They've been doing decently in the last few minutes, trying to get that attack going, but it's been shut down by the Bristol Bears. Any chance that they do get, including that was Morahan who was able to make that tackle there. once again going straight to the ground. And Saracens looking like they will be setting up for the kick as well. We have got Regielli. Hopefully I pronounced that correctly. And I do appreciate you being here, mate. Welcome into the live stream. It's going to be almost taken by the Bristol Bears. It went straight sideways. And now it's going to be Adams Hale who has got this ball on the halfway line for Saracens. They're starting to take a little bit of that possession stat back. Now they have decided to run it a few more times. Lizovsky tackled hard by Charles Piatel. Offloading it back now for Saracens. Big hit on him. Opposite numbers going at it with the two number 12s going short side once again. And it is going to be in the hands of Tim Swinson. Actually, first time we've seen him with a carry in this game so far. Now it's gone to Jackson Ray. We have got, okay, I just Googled that as well, says Katie Dixon. Maybe it is because it's a region. So really, I guess if you look between Timaru and Oamaru, you will be a little bit closer to my location there. The time at this stage in the game, we are sitting at around 20 minutes. And Charles Piatel with a nice step there. And he's going, Piatel. He's been able to break the line. Still going. And he's trying to link up with someone. He's found him on the outside. It's going to be Thacker. Drawing past. This is going to be a try, surely, for the Bristol Bears. Lloyd dragged down a metre short. What a hit from Vunapola to put him into touch. But he has hurt himself by the looks of Vunapola. What a run, though, from the Bristol Bears to get them fired up. Charles Piatel. And the number 15 jersey just steps. And at this stage, Ben O'Neill knew that he was beaten, so he just fell over because he knew that he wasn't going to be able to stop him. And then Charles Piatel running all the way, almost a couple metres short in the end. It was drawing past, looked like a certain try, but Saracens, their defence was on point when it needed to be, and they were able to make the last final tackle there. And it was Lloyd out on the wing, tackled by the fullback, Obatayimbo, and then it was just Vunapola who just bundles him into touch there. We have got, come on, Saris as well. Or Sari, sorry, from Sam. Welcome in to the live stream, mate. Do let me know who you think is going to score the first try of this match, the player that is, rather than the team. It's very hard to predict, though. Piatel is a very decent shout for being able to score the first try of this match. Just the way that he broke that line looked dangerous indeed. We have got, hey, Hamish, some exceptional rugby players from your part of the country as well, says David Daly here. There are certainly plenty of good players around. And that is something that I want to do a little bit more as well, is follow a little bit more local rugby during the day, I guess you could say, on a Saturday, although I will be sleeping during the day for this one because of the fact that we stayed up a little bit late. And there we go. We have got, what time of day are you there? Hamish, mate, nice little 8 p.m. kickoff here as well. We are sitting at 7:15 a.m. at the moment here in New Zealand. So it was around that kind of 6:45 mark that the game did kick off for this one. And we have got there as well. Who did Faf de Klerk play for? Doesn't he play in the Premiership? He is at the Sales Sharks, I believe, but he will not be joining up with them until around maybe December or so, when a lot of the internationals do get to go back. And now it's going to be Charles Piatel. There's a man on the ball, and it's a turnover in the breakdown for Saracens, but it's going to be taken straight back by the Bristol Bears. They get the penalty. And now they will be kicking the 3 as well by the looks of it. When USA writes about it, this deranged maniac as well, says Katie Dixon. Oh no, sorry, I just read what that was about. We almost got there in the chat. When New Zealand writes about it, a maniac did this thing. I thought we were talking about news articles as in for the sport at this stage, but then I realized what we were on about there. And yeah, it's an interesting one. We've got a few things happening in New Zealand at the moment. It's only just up the road as well that it did take place, unfortunately, with the children getting killed, which is pretty dark indeed, definitely, because of the fact that the sun has now come out here in Waimati. They're just showing the man who is a little bit buff there for Saracens. But tell you what, we normally have a sun cam every once in a while. We got sun today. We almost do. It's not too bad outside for this one by the looks of it. There is much kicking in this game. Way more than rugby down under as well, says Xavier Brown. And also, oh no, says David as well. But at this stage now, Callum Sheedy going to be taken on the kick once again here for the Bristol Bears. They're slowly ticking up those conversions, slowly ticking up those points as well. With this one going over, they will actually have a 9-point lead, which will be very useful going close to halftime. But I will mention anyone who is new, be sure to hit that subscribe button. We're going to be covering a lot of the Premiership games. Callum Sheedy's missed one. That is because I jinxed him. I said Mr. Consistency in the last kick because he had 3 from 3, and now he has missed that one. So the score still going to remain in the situation of Bristol Bears sitting on 9, Saracens on 3. And at this stage, we have still got a few minutes till we get to halftime. I believe it is around 10, but we don't have a scoreboard at the moment on the game. So they've decided to keep us kind of in limbo, but it is going to be now a 22 dropout for Saracens here, and they will be trying to get plenty of meters or go for that retaining. The ball is just kicked it towards the halfway line. It's going to be taken nicely there Vui selling a bit of a dummy, but instead decides to take it to ground, and they're going to be about 45 out here. The Bristol Bears, can they get a try before halftime? We are still waiting to see whether or not we're going to get one in this first half. We'll have to wait and see. Urim once again going for that kicking behind, possibly just looking for a bit of territory, and instead it's going to be taken by the fullback for Saracens, who is returning fire, and it's a very good kick downfield. Do they take it quickly? They decide against it, and it will be the line out for the Bristol Bears, about 45 metres out from Saracens' line here. I'm excited to see whether or not we are going to get ourselves a try. I want to see a try in this first half. It looks like more than likely, I would say Piatal has been the more than likely candidate for being able to score that first try in this match. So here's who I'm going to say. I did say Nathan Hughes originally, though, so I might have to go back to that, although we haven't really had a scrum inside of the 22 for either side, but now it's going to be a rolling maul for the Bristol Bears. It has gone down, and it's been broken away by the number 7, which in this one is a Daniel Thomas, who's getting the start there. Vui is actually down on the far side. I hope it's just a boot, because we do not want any injuries this early on in this season. That is for sure. Luatua getting his carry. Urin now passing it back. Going back across field. Oh, Piatal couldn't quite link up. Found a little offload back, though. A lot of pressure on the Bristol Bears, but Lloyd's going to take this one close to the touchline. Bit of the ears back. 55 metres out from the line that they are after. Saracens. Urin going around the side. He is going to be dragged down, though. And at this stage, there is quite a bit of pressure on him by the Saracens side. Callum Sheedy plays halfback, passes it across to Jack Woolmore. And at this stage, it's a little bit of a counter between these two sides. Both sides playing very strategically, very well at times throughout this one with their running game. And the kicking game looks like it is going to be prominent throughout this one as well. Going to be taken once again by Obatoyimbo. Always have to look down to make sure I'm almost saying that one rightly. Right, I think I still pronounce it wrong. To be fair, we have got Gary in the chat. Afternoon, all Premiership Rugby. Let's go as well. It is awesome to see the Gallagher Premiership back, and we haven't just got this competition back. We're going to get to see, or I guess I shouldn't say back, because the United Rugby Championship going to be coming next week. It is going to be absolutely awesome. And we also got there into the chat, David that said, hey, Hamish, I couldn't watch the English rugby comp in the past because it was boring. However, it's improved, more exciting as well, says David. They've certainly got a lot of star players throughout these competitions overseas. Definitely the English Premiership. Like, you look at someone like the Wasps, and you see a few Kiwis sneaking in there, which does make it like, when you've got one or two players that you recognise quick and say, oh, it's going to be dropped, though, out on the wing, unfortunately. For Luke Morahan, I think it was a knock-on. Yes, it was. And it is going to be the scrum. And Saracens, they are fired up at the moment. I'm not sure who that was. It was one of their forwards, I believe. It was getting well and truly hyped up for that one, but just dropped a little bit by Luke Morahan there out on the wing. Sebastian will be so happy and proud as well, says Katie Dixon. Also, well, hey there, brother. How you do as well, says Katie Dixon. Because, of course, you are actually in the United States as well, Gary, aren't you? So you guys are on a decent time frame, or decent time zone, I guess you could say, for this game. Tell you what, it's not too bad everywhere around the world, though, I guess, because South Africa, we are sitting at 9:18 p.m. Here in New Zealand, we're sitting at a total of, it is 7:18 a.m. So maybe it is, other than Australia, everyone else has got a very decent time zone for this one. Saracens have got a lot of players out this game, more of their Lions. I'm not sure why. No, Toje Farrell, Jamie George, Elliot Daly, or Vincent Koch as well. Although Vincent Koch, I believe, is still on the tour with South Africa. So I believe that is why he is not available. A few of those English players, are they getting ready for their game up against the Springboks in a couple months? I wonder how early they have to go into that training camp to be able to go into that squad and kind of get ready for that match, because it's going to be a big match as well. Oh, yeah, let's go. Yeah, Hamish, it's the Southern Hemisphere influence players / coaches as well. And I'm great, says Gary, and that's going to be a penalty to Saracens in the scrum. Right, we are 31.5 minutes in. They could get this kick and be within 3 points, but maybe instead they go for the corner. What are they thinking here? Lizovsky, he is going to be taken on the kick here, so we are going to get to see another three-pointer perhaps. And my statement earlier on, I did say maybe we're going to get into that situation and not seeing a try in this match. I did say also the first half, so hopefully it is only the first half that we don't see the try, and we do get to see one very, very soon in this matchup. I'm still trying to predict who it's going to be, though. I want to say it's the Bristol Bears, but Saracens haven't looked terrible. I'd say if it's going to be Saracens, I'll go Lewington out on that wing on the number 14 jersey for this one. The right wing, that is. But at this stage now, they're going to be kicking this one once again here, and it will be Lizovsky who will have the opportunity for this kick. I'm talking in slow motion for some reason. Not sure what happened there. Decided for some reason to draw that sentence out, but the kicker at this stage, Lizovsky lining it up, should be 6'3", or sorry, 6'9". Yes, it is. It has come round. He gets quite a little bit of the curl on it. Lizowski. And now the score is going to be Saracens 6, and it will be the Bristol Bears sitting on 9 points. When's the first try coming? Do let me know. Tell you what, we won't do who is going to score the try. What time in this game is the try going to be scored as well? And we have got, how the heck did you find my personal Instagram? Loggy Detective as well, says Katie Dixon. And also we have got there, you're Jamie George's biggest fan, I heard, as well, says a thick boy. And also I think he's a precious bean, says Katie Dixon there. But it's going to be taken by Saracens just outside of their 22 now. So it would have been taken back, I believe. So this one cannot find touch. They're just looking for the ball. And it will be Davies now, who has kicked this one high. Once again, it's going to be challenged in the air. He's going to be able to line it up. It's a bouncing ball, which makes it awkward. Piata, though, I want to get it, but Vunapola, I want to make the tackle on him now, kicking it behind you. And once again, trying to look maybe for that 50-22. It's a well way to kick just outside or just inside of the 22 now. A bit of a run happening for Saracens, but kicked in behind once again, looking for the territory game. Tell you what, that's a stat. That's a stat. 41 kicks so far in this match between the two sides, and we are 34 minutes in. That's 42. That's 43. Tell you what, are we going to be able to keep track of them? Feel like it's going to rack up maybe 100 in this match so far. Once we get to full time, 44th goes into touch, and now it will be Saracens who will have the line out, and they will be sitting about 45 metres out from the Bristol Bears line. But yeah, a lot of kicking happening in this game so far between the two sides. We see there Pat Lamb, who is the head of rugby for Bristol Bears. He will be hoping to see some tries very soon. I took your name off here. It was a guess as well, says Gary Miller. And I guess another one is we have got a Kiwi Lads Instagram if you guys do want to follow that. I don't really mention it too often, which I probably should a little bit more, but it is the Kiwi underscore Kiwi underscore lads. I will put it in the chat there because I always forget about it. We haven't actually really posted anything on there yet, but we'll have to get it going very soon. That's for sure now. And it's going to be off the back. Wollenscroft passes it back, going short side now. Lewington looking for the space. And behind, he's gone for almost a banana kick there. It's going to be pulling up in the in goal, or is it? It's going to go dead. Oh, he dives way into it as well. And Lloyd had a bit of a smile on his face there with the appreciation for the chase from Lewington. And it's going right back to where he kicked it from. And I feel like in that situation, I guess you could say, if you do make the kick there downfield, you've got to chase it as hard as you can, or else then the coach might not be too happy with you. But looking at it, they are just showing the massive amount of space that they have got at the moment out on the field, which is why we're seeing such a prominent kicking game from both of these sides. We have got Haymaker as well, says Luke. Welcome in, mate. 5:23 a.m. there, if I'm not wrong for you at the moment. So good morning in the Australia. The Australia. I've said the in front of all of the countries that I've said today. This game is being played in the England at the moment, and it is at ASHTON GATE, and the crowd have turned up. I believe they've sold about 10,000 or something season passes, which is pretty awesome. Maybe it's even more than that for the Bristol Bears. They've got a fan base, and because of the fact that they are able to have crowds for this game, it does make it very awesome. That front row has gone down. Oh, it's a little bit of aggression there from Uden, but he took about 5 years to put it in. So that is probably why we have got. Any thoughts on the AFL Grand Final? When is that taking place, Gary? Is that tonight as well, or is it next week? Do let me know. At this stage, I will mention, if you haven't already, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. The England as well, says Katie Dixon. But we are going to be covering the Rugby Championship games. John Arfoa there is the scrum coach at the moment for the Bristol Bears. He has a smile on his face after a little bit of push and shove in that one. Good morning, my second timer. Only just woke me up as well, says Luke. Luckily for me, last time I had an early morning one, we were able to get up. But the one before that, I did actually end up setting my alarm for PM rather than AM, so I completely missed the top 14 live stream that we did have planned, which was a shame because that was going to be a good game between La Rochelle and also Toulouse. But we are going to be covering as much of the top 14 as we can. That's gone down in the front row, but it is going to be available now. No, it's a penalty to Saracens in the scrum, and they have been able to get themselves a penalty about 55 metres out from the line. We are currently sitting 37 minutes into this game as well. I'll go for the Welsh lad. With the Welsh lad, first try scorer today, I'm calling Nick Tompkins as well. A decent shout. Number 12 as well, hitting the ball up quite nicely so far in this one, but it was Richie only, sorry. Richie only. Almost came off the tongue, but not quite at the same time. And now we have seen 2 penalties conceded at the scrum, and Saracens now have a good opportunity inside of the 22 to really get some late points on the board in this first half. It is only a 3-point difference here, so all you need is going to be just that one try and you have the lead. But Wollenscroft going to have this throw. It's actually going to be about 30 metres out, not as many metres on that kick as I first thought. thinking about going quickly. They're saying that they're closing the gap a little bit, and they have indeed. Vui just closing it just a little bit. But Wollenscroft now, I think he was kind of shuffling to the side, and Wayne Barnes is not too happy. He said, please don't shout at him, which was referring to his touch judge. We have got Hey Mate as well from Katie Dixon in the chat. Wollenscroft now getting a little bit of a stern warning there from Wayne Barnes to stop shouting at the official, which I guess is probably a fair enough call. Where are they going to go? It looks like Bristol are really going to challenge this one, though, not quite able to get it. And now it's going to be the rolling ball. It's in the hands of Vunipola, passing it back now to Wollenscroft, trying to get it marching forward. It's gone down, and it's a penalty advantage as well. The ball is tied up, and it's going to be a penalty to Saracens. Easy 3-point, I would think, from here. And we could be sitting at 9-9 going into halftime without a try in this first half. I don't think I have had a game where there hasn't been a try scored that I've been this hyped up for, which just feels weird at the same time. I got Stan to do Premiership Rugby. They announced 2 hours late after the stream as well, says Luke. So you were able to get it on Stan. So hopefully they do cover. Do they cover all of the games, Luke, or just kind of 3 games a week? Because I know here on Sky, we have got 1 game on the Saturday morning, then 1 game on the Sunday at about 2 a.m., and then the next game on the Monday morning. We only get 3, though, because of the fact that there are quite a few games being played at the same time. But by the looks of it, it will be Lizowski once again who will be lining up this kick and getting the opportunity to make it 9-9 in this game as well. They'll listen to you eventually as well, says Katie Dixon. Also, all games, says Luke. See, we don't get all the games here on Sky. We only get 1 game of those games that are all taking place at 2 a.m. New Zealand time. So the game that they are covering on the Sky in New Zealand is going to be Leicester taking on Exeter, I believe, is the game that is going to be the one that they decide to show. But now will be an opportunity for Lizowski once again as he brought it round. Yes, he has indeed. And now the score is going to be 9-9 at this stage. No one is really asserting their early dominance in this game, which does mean it could be a very close game in the later stages of this one. There are no tries being scored. Rodrigo is playing as well, says Amori. Unfortunately, not quite, but he is back with the squad and he is training now. So because of it, it does mean he is probably only 1 or 2 weeks away at this stage, Rodrigo, which is very good news to see. Because he is a dangerous player in that centre role or out on the wing, wherever they play him. He will make meters for fun, Radradra, but that's going to be taken there by the number 4 for Saracens, which in this one is a hard name to say, so I'm just going to call him the lock. And it is going to be now the opportunity for the kick. There are 10 seconds left in this first half. If you live in the USA, you can watch Premiership Rugby on Peacock TV as well, says Gary. So that is some very good news for our USA viewers, which I believe is just yourself and Katie, if I'm not wrong there. But now passing it back across field, Bristol Bears looking for a backline movement. We're going to be at halftime as soon as this ball goes out. If it does go out, that is. But now Uren once again passing it back. It's going to be the step from Beartail looking for the offload. Gives it straight to, it is a Billy Vunipola who was able to take that one. Are they going to kick this one into touch here, Saracens, or do they decide to go for an attack? They fired it right back, going for the kick in behind. And the camera wasn't able to find it there, but Bristol Bears now going to have this ball inside of the 22. And he kicks it into touch in halftime as a round. And it is going to be now 9-9 going into the second half. What an interesting first half we have got. A game with 50 kicks so far. And that's not even an exaggeration with that one. Holy crap. I just checked Xfinity. I made a suit as well. Says Katie Dixon. Here we else got there. And then for once, I'm going for Bristol. Saracens can get stuffed. The dirty cheats as well, says Luke. And also, yes, says Gary. But at this stage, no tries being scored yet in this game between the two sides. But I have to say, it is great to see a crowd at the rugby for this game at ASHTON GATE. We have got quite a few people in attendance at the moment. They sold quite a few season passes as well for the Bristol Bears because they are one of those sides that are expected to make it into those playoff games. And if they finish high enough, they will be able to have those home games at ASHTON GATE as well. But we will look through some stats to do with this match. I mean, I could look at the kicking one, which will well and truly tell us quite a few interesting numbers because of the fact that so far, what have we got? I'm going to see whether or not they haven't got the exact number, but we know that 27% of the kicks in this game so far have been made by the Bristol Bears to the 27 of Saracens to the 17% of the Bristol Bears as well. But looking through some of the stats when it comes to the attack, 55% for the home side Bristol in this match. But with the amount of kicks that have been taking place, it is very hard to say who is getting the first, kind of the better of this first half, I should say, as well. But 5 defenders beat him for Bristol Bears, 2 beat him for Saracens. Then we look through turnovers conceded, another number that is an interesting one. 6 turnovers conceded for Saracens compared to the 4 of the Bristol Bears. Tackles made, only having to make 37 tackles and 38 tackles for each respective side. 7 missed tackles for Bristol Bears, though, which is a little bit higher than, of course, they would have been wanting in this one, and 6 missed tackles for the side from Saracens. Then we look at the breakdown, not really too much happening in that one because of the fact we've had so many kicks and also penalties conceded. 5 against Saracens, 4 against the Bristol Bears. Player stats, though, here. I'm excited to see what they have got. Charles Piatel, they have not updated their stats, ladies and gentlemen, because he has only run 5 meters, but he ran 5 meters in like the first few minutes of the game. There are a lot of minuses in terms of the meters carried on their sheet, so we will have to take this one with a grain of salt at this stage. The grand final crowd wasn't that big, unless I'm wrong as well. It says a Luke Parameter, Parameter. Hopefully I pronounced that correctly. I don't think I've ever said your last name as well. I can't remember last time I saw a big crowd at a Premiership game. It just depends on who's playing, I think, because of the fact it was Harlequins in the final. I don't think they attracted as many as a side like a Bristol Bears or someone like that. I know Exeter Chiefs, they have a little bit of a following over there, but yeah, I think if it was Bristol versus Exeter, it would have been a lot more flirt to win as well, says Katie Dixon. And also we have got there, making a coffee and getting ready to go to work meetings, time to flirt with potential clients' wives, help secure the deal as well, says Johnny Plays. I mean, I guess you got to do what you got to do in that situation to be able to get those jobs. But at this stage, very early in the morning here in New Zealand, 7:30, which isn't really that early if you do wake up at a normal time. But for myself, we're going to have a look at the sun again. As you can see, you can't really see, but the sun is slightly up at the moment, and it is hopefully going to be coming out and be a very nice day here in New Zealand. But what we will be doing is after this live stream, I will more than likely be going back to sleep. And then after that, let's got there, say how BKR does. He actually does say it right as well. Is it Parmeter? It might be Parmeter if I'm not wrong. But I haven't really heard him say your name too much because of the fact that I think you and him have a little bit of a rivalry going at the moment. Good luck, Warrior, as well, says Katie Dixon. And also, but over the wives, encourage them to spend husband's dollars. Let's go as well. And hello, beautiful New Zealand sunshine, says Katie Dixon. And yeah, as well for Parmeter as the pronunciation. But yeah, at this stage, there is a lot of rugby on. Today, we are going to be covering the games of the Rugby Championship, first of which starting at 7:05. We'll probably be starting around that 6:30 or so, maybe even a little bit earlier. I've got so much to talk about when it comes to this match. At 10 a.m., we are going to be releasing our what am I going to say? Our thingamabob, our preview of the match, and see how it goes. Although I could probably schedule it for 9 maybe instead. But we have got Barry Green. I said, hey, Kiwi, it's good to see you in action again as well, says Barry. Yeah, we've been going for plenty of live streams. We had the Bunnings NBC and the yesterday's live stream between, it was Canterbury and Waikato, extremely quick or extremely close game. We missed you as well, says Barry Green. Although I've been here pretty much every single day, mate, over the last little while. But for live streams wise, yeah, we did one yesterday, and then last week we did about 10 or something like that, I believe. And we have got Low as well, says Barry Green. And also we have got, we don't share the same opinions on sport for Luke Parmeter, him and BKR Sport, that is. And we have also got there, Be Right Back groceries have been delivered as well. See, that is another thing. We can actually get groceries here delivered, but unfortunately we can't really do too much else. We don't get fast food delivered, which is very sad because the nearest kind of McDonald's or KFC or anything is actually half an hour away. But at this stage, we'll mention some stats once again. 55% for Bristol Bears in this one, 50 kicks in that first half. That is not even an exaggeration. They were going at more than a kick a minute in this one. A lot of running meters for these two sides, but they have not quite updated so that we can see. I believe the man who had the most running meters in that first half would have been Charles Piatel, because he had a phenomenal run down that wing. We have got tickets for Munster versus Stormers on October 2nd. Shockingly expensive games. Better be good as well, says Kanakawain. And how much do they charge for a game? Do let me know, mate, because I know that on the kind of URC website, it works out at about 17 New Zealand dollars per game that you want to watch. Or the season pass, like you mentioned, was sitting at about 200 and something, I think you did say, which is certainly a lot. But they are actually showing the highlights between the British and Irish Lions and the Lions as well. And they are showing the injury of Vincent Tuchulka. Is he actually injured at the moment? Tuchulka, I'm not too sure, but we have got there as well. Eshot, they should be good now as well. And are there any South African players that play for these sides, says Barry Green? I don't think there's a huge amount. Of course, Sale Sharks would be the best bet for watching those South Africans. But in this one, looking through the names that they have got, trying to look through, I know that Vincent Clock would normally be playing for Saracens, but he is not there at the moment due to the fact that he is going to be playing for them in the Springboks versus Australia game. But other than that, we haven't really got too many South Africans or Kiwis in this game. I believe Stephen Luatua is the most Kiwi out of anyone we have got. And then Australians, I don't think we've got any Australians as well. So there's a few players that we aren't seeing in this game. And then this is the lineup. And in the number 15 jersey, it is actually Elliot Obatoyimbo, who is going to be there. But other than that, not many Australian, South Africans, or Southern Hemisphere players in these two sides. But, of course, throughout the Premiership, we have got quite a few. Harlequins are your best bet probably for Kiwis if you are looking for them, and Sale Sharks for those South Africans. Nonetheless, at this stage, we will look through the reserves bench as well. There is Manu Vunipola on the bench for Saracens for this one. Also, they have got Ben Harris as another option, Joe Simpson as their replacements, Harry Randall, Sam Bedlow, and also, I would say, Dave Atwood, decent player as well. That could have a little bit of a late impact in this game as well for the Bristol Bears. But we will go here as well. We have got how much kind of coin in, and also we have got there in the chat, what stands for, is just showing me a crowd shot at halftime as well, says Luke. And also, must not come in with a halftime show. No, maybe they haven't got one, because I've got the British and Irish Lions store highlights on my screen here, and we have got there, they're like €50 each. In Old Pro 14, they were 35 to 40, so €50. Right, €50. I'm going to have to try and do some sort of conversion there. I believe, if I'm not wrong, it's about one and a bit for New Zealand. So maybe that's around $70 or so New Zealand. That is going to be a guess. I might have to look it up, though, to see whether or not that is the case. But anyone who is tuning in now, we have not had a try yet in this game. It is 9-all, but we have to wait and see whether or not we do get to see there Stephen Luatua as well for Bristol. He's a Kiwi. He is indeed. He is the only player, I believe, from New Zealand that we have got. He used to play for the Blues in Super Rugby. Other than that, though, we haven't got too much New Zealand flair in this game. But Harlequins, I think they've got a little bit of a deal going with the New Zealand Rugby in terms of getting a few more Kiwis over into the Premiership and a few Australians. They more than likely, a lot of the Australians, I think, have gone to France, if I'm not wrong, or the United Rugby Championship. That's a rip-off. That's 80 Australian as well, says Luke. So that is certainly expensive. So that will be about 83 or so New Zealand, if I'm not wrong. And we obviously they are cashing in on the South Africa teams joining hype as well. It better be a good game, says Luke. And yeah, hopefully all of those games of the United Rugby Championship are going to be very good ones, because there are a lot of talented players around in those competitions. We saw Dwayne Vermeulen signing for Ulster. That was a big deal that did take place, and there were a lot of South Africans who were not very happy with that deal. But at this stage, they are showing the draw and pass of the British and Irish Lions up against the Emirates Lions, and it was actually a very nice try for, I believe it was Samalani Maxwane, maybe, but I could have the wrong name there if I'm not wrong. But we are only a few minutes away from the second half getting underway, so I will mention, if you haven't already, be sure to leave a like. Also, subscribe to the channel if you are new. We are going to be covering the game tomorrow that is taking place between the Harlequins, and also it will be, no, sorry, that's a lie. Not the Harlequins, they are the next day. It is going to be the game tomorrow between, it will be Exeter and Leicester that we are covering, but we will also be updating down the bottom of the screen. We will have all of the live scores for all of the matches that are taking place. They are all starting at 2 a.m. New Zealand time, which is a bit late. Unfortunately, we have also got there Cornell Corsan relocating to the UK as well, says Barry Green. And yeah, at this stage, there's quite a few South Africans heading to the UK. And also we've got a few Kiwis over there as well. I believe one that comes to mind is Josh Mackay playing for Glasgow, but he hasn't actually left yet. So I think that might be a season signing for maybe next year, if I'm not wrong. But at this stage, we will get these stats, or the fixtures, I should say. Normally I would have them come up so that you guys can actually see them on the screen, but I didn't quite get that prepared. So we're just going to show them on the screen like this. Hopefully, there we go. Look at that. Nice focus there. So as you can see, these games are all taking place at the same time. It is going to be Leicester versus Exeter. That is the game that they are showing here in New Zealand. Northampton versus Gloucester. Also Worcester versus London Irish, and Sale Sharks taking on Bath. Then we look down a little bit more. That's my fingernail. Then it's Newcastle versus Harlequins. That will be on Monday, the next day. That was a little bit. Come on, there we go. We're back into the focus, and we are good. We play for the, or he played for the Sigma Lions as well. Is that actually Cornell Skosan? Is that Skosan? Skosan? Is that Skosan? If I'm not wrong, maybe. Is that who we are talking about there? We have also got there. Yep, Luke. It's not helped. Sharks are missing a few South African players, as are Stormers. If anything, playing them first with was bad timing. As well, says Gunnar Coyne, and also Michael Alalatoa is a Leinster player. He is indeed heading over to Leinster. So the Crusaders, oh, that's a big hit in that game that has taken place. Not the Premiership game, though, the one that they are showing on the replay. But yeah, with him going to Leinster, it was an interesting signing, because I guess maybe it's the cover for international duty for the likes of Tyke Furlong missing. But the big problem there is Alan Alatoa plays for Manu Samoa, who also have international duty. So you kind of maybe have them going in there. They are going to be taking on the Barbarians, Manu Samoa, and already announced in the Barbarians, Dwayne Vermeulen, Malcolm Marks, and also Pablo Matera. So it's going to be a very hard Barbarian side to beat, you would think, looking at that. But if the table stands the way that it is at the moment, there would be a draw. I'm not sure whether or not we go to extra point in this one. I'm just having a quick look. 2 points for a draw, so no extra time. And then you also get 1 point for scoring 4 or more tries in this competition, and also 1 point for losing by 7 or fewer, which kind of seems like it could be the case in this game, the way that these two sides have been going because of how close these games are. I've seen Courtnell Scosan, Elton Yankees out on the town in Hamilton after the Lions beat the Chiefs. I think 2016 or 17. They were drunk and were sleeping on a bus stop bench as well in there from Johnny Blaze. And also we have got the Waratahs are desperate for fans to come to their games. It's a free season pass for playing club rugby. That is pretty awesome in that regard, that they are actually giving out season passes though, because we used to get like a free McDonald's cheeseburger when we did win player of the day. So is that like player of the game, or was it player of the tournament maybe that you do end up with that season pass? We have got there. Lineuk should play for the Wallabies, honestly, as well, says Luke. And also rugby players acting damn full. Rugby and dumb drunken antics go hand in hand, says Johnny Plays. But, I mean, hopefully we do get to see some tries being scored by these rugby players in this game. We haven't seen one yet. I said a comment at the start of the game after about 15 minutes, and I'm really starting to regret it because I said, is this going to be a game that we don't see a single try? And I'm worried that it actually could be. It's 9-9 at the moment. Both sides have decent attack, but it's just the defence that has been holding up just enough. There was a massive break for the man in the number 15 jersey, Charles Piatel, for the Bristol Bears. But from there was a beautiful chase down by the defence who were able to tackle. I believe it would have been Ewan Lloyd who did get tackled into touch, which was just an absolute huge hit from Vunipola to stop him from a run-in forward. But at this stage, we're still waiting for the second half to get underway. I'm not sure how long the halftime break is for these ones. I believe it's around 10 minutes or so. We'll have to wait and see, though. We have got sleeping peacefully on the bench as well. It's better than being face down in a pool of your own blood, I suppose, as well, says Katie Dixon. I feel like there's quite a few things that are probably a bit better than that, to be fair. But yeah, that went in a weird direction, didn't it? But that is all right. But at this stage, I've said, but at this stage, that is my segue today for some reason. But normally it's, but nonetheless, but today it's at this stage. We have got a lot more live streams coming today, including the 2 matches of the Rugby Championship. Wallabies taking on the Springboks, and also New Zealand taking on the Pumas. That is going to be the second game of the Rugby Championship of today. And then also we are going to be covering the game between, it will be Exeter and Leicester, kicking off at 2 a.m. New Zealand time, which I believe would be a 3 p.m. kickoff for you guys who do live in the UK. And then other than that, it is going to be also maybe a top 14 live stream we may do. And then the next day, we are going to have 2 more live streams with the Gallagher Premiership, also with the Ramfurly Shield Challenge between Hawke's Bay and also a Bay of Plenty. Should be a good one as well. Now we got like, I think 4 free games just for playing, but I'm 17 now. We don't get any other Macca's things as well, says Luke. But at this stage, we are very close to kickoff. It is going to be the Bristol Bears kicking off the second half. We are at ASHTON GATE for this game, and it is 9-9, no tries yet. Who is going to be able to get the first try of this game between Bristol Bears and Saracens, taken straight away by Jackson Ray? It's at the first carry of the second half. Someone's leg there stuck in. I believe it was actually Charles Piatel. Hopefully he is not injured. No, he was just stuck under the breakdown. I thought for a second he was going to be injured at the very start of the season, which is not what you want. Definitely not when you have got such a long season ahead of you. It's going to be kicked downfield from Saracens. Like I mentioned, 50 kicks in that first half. Piatel now breaking the line once again. He's been looking good in this game. Probably the most dangerous player for anyone out on the field at this stage. I don't believe there's too many changes for either side. And their starting lineups, it is still looking pretty identical for the Bristol Bears. Out there now around the side, it is going to be in the hands of their number 8. It's going to be Nathan Hughes. We haven't mentioned his name since about the 3rd minute. And now, unfortunately for the Bristol Bears, it's going to be Judo. It's going to be the man in the number 12 jersey. Tompkins are hard in the tackle, but now Bristol under a lot of pressure. It is going to be Riccioni, who is dragged down. And by the looks of it, they will be going for the kick once again. Davies, no, they've decided to go short side to Vunipola now, trying to drive his way forward. And both sides haven't really spent a lot of time inside of the 22 of the opposition, which is something that if we see a little bit more of it in the second half, perhaps we will start to see a few more tries. But it's going to be kicked high by Davies once again, chased hard by their number, I believe he's the number 11, Segan. but he has made the tackle and it is a knock on. So now it will be the scrum feed for the Saracens side. We have got there. No, we got like 4-3 games and should have taken pics and sent to the New Zealand media. They seem to have slow days in the office and are always searching for irrelevant things to overhype and kick up dust about as well, says Johnny Blaze. And also we have got there, isn't Charles Piatel the highest rugby player in the world as well? I believe he is very decently paid, I should say, but Cheslin Colby actually, I believe, has overtaken him with this deal with Toulon, if I'm not wrong. I think he really got the big bucks. Finn Russell was going to be heading to Japan for a top league side. I can't speak now, for the second half, rather than being at Racing 92, and he was going to become the highest paid. But I believe Cheslin Colby, with that big deal, moving from Toulouse to Toulon, is what he ended up getting. He ended up getting millions, I think, for that as well. We haven't got there when I was playing for Fraser Tech. We played Hull Tapu, Luke Jacobson's club, and a few of our players stole post-game feast, 4 trays of hangi, and we all ate it. Thanks, Hull Tapu as well, says Johnny Blaze. So you're not stealing like full plates of food from that. It's like, I mean, that's one good thing about rugby when you are at like that kind of older age group, is you end up getting quite a bit of food after the game. So that's a big push, and it's going to be the advantage now to Saracens. Are they going to use it? It's going to be Davies fires it back now, little chip in behind, and it's going to be a good chase there from Saracens, but bouncing up, and it's going to be the penalty now. It's going to be around halfway. Are they going to go for the 3-pointer and get themselves a lead for the first time in this game? Saracens here, we almost got there. I would pay millions for Cheslin Colby here. I think most people would, although he is injured at the moment, so I'm not too sure how long he is going to be out for. So hopefully he is back relatively soon, and we get to see him in those games up against New Zealand, because that's one thing. I feel like some All Black supporters probably don't want to see Cheslin Colby there because of how dangerous he is. But, I mean, you want to see him out there up against the All Blacks. It's a matchup that is just made for a good time. Maybe they put Rieko Ioane out on that wing to try and match Cheslin Colby. How do you match Cheslin Colby, though? That is a big problem. 3 penalties against Saracens, three penalties against Bristol at the scrum time. And this one, John Arfire, who is the scrum coach, he will not be too happy with that, I wouldn't think. But now it will be Lazowski once again with another kicking opportunity. 44 metres out, 3 from 4 so far tonight. So he will be hoping to get himself just a few more over today, and it could be enough to get Saracens a win, because we are still sitting 9-9 after 44 minutes. No tries in the first half. Surely we have got a try coming in the second, but we will have to wait and see. That one is straight down the middle from Lazowski, and now the score is going to be 12 points to Saracens and 9 to Bristol Bears. So Saracens taking the lead for the first time in this match. For anyone who doesn't know, all of the sides who are taking part, I should say, in this competition, we have got quite a few of them there. The 2 that are missing underneath Saracens, we will quickly go like this, and it is Bristol, who are one of those 2 sides who are playing in this match, and also Newcastle, who play the Harlequins, the defending champs, on Monday morning, New Zealand time. But at this stage, kicked off once again, it's going to be Ray. Was able to take that one very nicely. Jackson Ray, that is. We have also got there no plates. Trays like 1 metre away, 1 metre. Chicken, pork, lamb, potatoes, kumara, pumpkin. We got lost to Hotapu, and our players got salty about it as well, says Johnny Plays. And also we have got the emojis from Katie Dixon. If you do want access to those emojis, be sure to hit that membership button. And it does give you access to those emojis and also a few exclusive perks. It's going to be taken. No, it's not. It's going to be dropped by Uren with the knock on. And now it does mean that it will be the scrum for Saracens. Momentum in the second half is starting to shift a little bit. I will say it seems like it's going a little bit more on the side of Saracens early on. The high kick once again from Davies chased. And then Mvoy steps away from calling for it. And because of that, it did end up with Uren just not quite being able to line it up. And it did lead to the knock on. We have got that's a lot of food as well. The national NZ dish scrum lash, very tasty. And probably would be seen as strange if not from New Zealand as well, says Johnny Plays. But at this stage, penalties conceded 8 against the Bristol Bears to the 5 of Saracens. So like I mentioned, that kind of momentum starting to swing. And Saracens, they are in the Premiership this year. They were actually in the Championship, I believe it's called, or the next one down. But they did get promoted, which is why we have got 13 teams in the Gallagher Premiership rather than just the 12. But once again, it will be Lazowski, who has another opportunity. He was only kicking from here a couple minutes ago. So these are 6 easy points for Saracens from 2 penalties up against the Bristol Bears. So they have to be very careful to make sure they don't keep on giving away those penalties, Bristol. Lazowski straight away, kicking that one down the middle. And now all of a sudden, Bristol Bears, they were tied 9-all going into the second half. And now they are sitting a total of 6 points down, with Saracens moving up to 15 points and the Bristol Bears sitting on 9. There are a few people in the coach's box who don't look too happy at the moment with the Bristol Bears, and Uren now getting taken off the field, so they've decided that knock on. No, sorry, he was just running out to the wing. Thought for a second they were taking him off straight away. They were like, yeah, no, you've had enough, mate. You are going off the field, but Saracens taking this one just inside of their 22, and it will be Davies once again. We'll be kicking this one downfield, down the middle of the field. That is going to be taken nicely by Charles Piatel, returning fire with the high boot off the left. Going to be chased hard by one of the Bristol players. It's going to be taken by Davies, so passing it across now to the fullback, and he will be kicking it downfield. He was outside. It's close to the touchline, out on the full momentum. Now it's going back the other way. Ovatoyimbo just ended up kicking that one out on the full. This game started to get a little bit juicier than it was in the first half. We saw a heap of penalties in that first half between the two sides. Also a lot of kicking. But now, all of a sudden, it looks like the running game and the kicking game is going to be a little bit more kind of fluent in the second half. So now Thacker will be the man throwing it in for Bristol Bears. We have got the biggest feed I ever got after rugby was 5 donuts. That is an effort and a half, 5 donuts. That is for sure. I'm a bit obsessed with New Zealand. I don't think I think anything in New Zealand was strange. Just wonderful as well, says Katie Dixon. And also we have got there, right, lads, I'm going to go. Cheers, Hamish. Chat, have a good day, /night. Much love as well, says Johnny Blaze. We will see you possibly a little bit later on, Johnny. But I do appreciate you being here so early in the morning. Good luck with your client interviews as well. Hopefully it does go all right. We have got hope Sebastian is okay, 2-piece as well. Yeah, hopefully we do get to see him a little bit later on. And hopefully everything did go smoothly for him. He kind of had to leave in a hurry, which is interesting. Oh, a little bit of the booing going on there. But now it is going to be short side once again. Nathan Hughes getting the carry straight in the breakdown. He's not allowed to get it though. Uren passes it back across the Bristol Bears. Can they get themselves a try in the early stages of the second half to get them right back into this one? It's going to be Sheedy now with the flat ball. To answer the big forwards. 5 phases, I believe. That is almost the most phases we've seen put together. And it's going to be Thacker pinning the ears back with a step as well. The man of the number 2 jersey, but he has been dragged down about 15 metres out. They've got the advantage as well here, Bristol. Callum Sheedy looking like he was going to be kicking at Charles Piatel now. No, sorry, it's the man in the number 12 jersey for them, which is Leua. Sorry there. Now it's going to be Thacker once again with a good lead drive. Trying to break out of the tackle of the number 12, Tompkins. Going short side once again here, opening up the space on the outside. Is he going to step? He is. The number 14 there. Monahan deciding to take on the contact. 10 minutes out here for Bristol, putting together some good phases with the advantage as well. Gives it now into the hands of Luatua, trying to get his way over the try line. Uren passes it back. Gives it to Sheedy, inside ball. Good defence here. Those from Saracens. It was Vunapola making the tackle there. Slowly driving forward once again. It's going to be the man in the number 4 jersey. I believe that is Ed Holmes. We haven't actually said his name yet in this live stream. I don't think so far. Going out short side once again. It's going to be Voy getting close. 5 metres out, but straight on the ball with Saracens. He was able to turn it over as well. And they're going back for the penalty. What to do if you are in this situation? I see straight away someone was pointing for the corner. And I believe it might have been Nathan Hughes who was saying, go for the corner, boys. And that is what they're going to do. They are 6 points behind, and that is making the Bristol crowd very happy indeed, because 5 metres out now. It is going to be a Bristol Bears chance for the rolling ball. We have got Hamish. Can you please give a shout out to the Rotorua Club Waka as well, who are playing Tauranga Sports, sorry, in the Bay of Plenty Premier Final today. There's also I messed up that shout out. We'll try it again. Shout out to Waka. Hopefully you do get that win over Tauranga and be able to score plenty of tries, unlike what we have got at this stage in this match. But it is coming. It is coming, this one. Thacker going to have this 5 metre line out here for the Bristol Bears. They will want to get themselves in. We have also got there, right? I'm back. Oh, dear Bears. Has some work to do as well, says Sebastian. Welcome back, mate. Johnny Blaze just left, said that he was hoping that you were all right. But yeah, it is good to see you back, mate. At this stage, no tries scored in this match so far. Saracens, it's a deceptive scoreline because 15 would make you think maybe they got 2 tries and a penalty, but that is not the case. It was 9-9 at halftime, and now we are sitting in this situation of being 15 to Saracens, 9 to Bristol Bears, but they got the 5 metre line out. And it looks like maybe the rolling ball could be on the cards for the Bristol Bears. They could have taken the easy 3, but they said, nope, we are going. Oh, no, they've messed it up. The ball has bounced out the back. They tried to go to the front, but now Thacker, he's got a bit of toe when he pins the ears back. And I guess he has got the ears pinned back because he has got the headgear on, but Luatua now, quick hands here into the hands of Ed Holmes. But that one did not go the way of the Bristol Bears that they would have been wanting, but they have still got the possession. Oh, Thacker, what a take that is. He's taking it between his legs, but it's on the wrong side. And how is that goal? How is that ball, I should say, got back on the side of the Bristol Bears? Vai now on the 22. Going to be going Uren. Pass it back. Sheedy with a quick hands. Gives it now to Charles Piatel, who has been very strong throughout this match with Vunipola almost able to get on the ball. Uren once again passes it back. First receiver now. Going off into the hands of Nathan Hughes has just got a lying on the Saracens player, I believe. Almost able to get that penalty. And Vai now once again getting another carry at this stage. Still just back-to-back phases here for the Bristol Bears. Passing it across field. Going to be Thomas now. Getting a carry as well. They are getting forced back by this good defense from Saracens, though. Now sitting 35 metres out, 9 phases into their attack. What can they do here, Bristol? Can they get themselves the try? They will get them back into this one. It's going to be the backline movement, lobby pass. Out the back, it's Hughes. He's got the man Lloyd on the outside. Decides not to use him. Goes on the inside to Piatel instead, who is breaking the tackle as well. Fending off everyone, Charles Piatel, but straight on the ball there. Was almost the number 15 for Saracens. Uren now passes it back. At this stage, phase after phase, 12 phases in now. It's going to be Sheedy with a bit of a step as well, trying to break the line, but good tackle on him. It was the name that I cannot say, the man in the number 4 jersey for Saracens, Ezekiel. Hopefully I'll pronounce that somewhere close to how it is pronounced now. Going short side, Nathan Hughes trying to bump off the tackle. He has been dragged down once again, straight on it as well. Vunipola not able to get it though. Bristol Bears, 14 phases in, haven't really gone anywhere, but the crowd, they are starting to get behind him. Thacker now getting another carry there, almost available for Saracens in the breakdown. Once again, they're getting close, but not quite close enough to be able to steal it. Uren now going to get driven backwards in the tackle. 17 phases. We saw 20 phases in the game last night at the Bunnings NPC. It looks like we could see it for this Premiership Rugby game as well. First game of the Gallagher Premiership. It's dropped there by Thacker. I jinxed that one, unfortunately, for him. And they only got to the 18. We have got there as well, right on back as well. And yeah, I'm all right. Nothing to worry about. It was just some university related stuff as well. Said Sebastian. Also, we have got welcome back, brother. Bears are strong and we're ahead for a bit. It ain't over till it's over. And come on, Saracens, says Hafid as well. Welcome into Livestream I. If you are new, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Anyone who is watching, we are going to be covering a lot of the Premiership this year. We're going to be doing the game tomorrow between Exeter and also Leicester. We'll be playing. That is the game we will be covering. And also the game the next night after will be between Harlequins and Newcastle. We'll be playing there. We are going to be covering that game as well. We will do a quick look at the sun cam here in New Zealand. Looks like, look at that. It's not too bad. The sun is out. It is blasting at the moment. 8 a.m. here in New Zealand. This game started at 6:45, and we are still well and truly buzzing for it. Thacker there. We do see they tried to go to the straight. And that's interesting. They are actually showing a replay and saying that should have been a penalty to the Bristol Bears earlier on in the line-out when it was 5 metres out. We did see that it was a little bit of a loose ball, but it was because the player actually ended up playing the guy's arms rather than the ball. So it could have been a penalty this Sunday as well from Katie Dixon. I'm starting to get a bit peckish as well here in New Zealand, looking like it might have to be breakfast time very soon, but then I am going back to bed because we only got a couple hours sleep last night, and we've got a lot more rugby coming as well. We got the blood in there from Katie Dixon, and also we have got the Boomfast in the chat as well, and there is actually blood at the moment on the field, unfortunately for him. So it will be Ralph Adams who will be making his way off the field, I believe, for Saracens. Or are we talking? Yes, it was Ralph Adams Hales. Sorry, it is a three-parter name there. He is going to be coming off the field, and replacing him, it will be Richard Barrington getting an opportunity on the front row, joining up with the rest of the Saracens troop, who is going to get the first try of this match. We're up to 52 minutes. There's a slight part of me that's a little bit concerned we might not get to see one, which would be pretty unfortunate. For the first match, I got 3 hours of sleep. So I says, Luke, are you going back to sleep after this game, mate? Do let me know, because I was going to cover the game between Wellington and Taranaki or the Bunnings NPC, but unfortunately, I think my best bet would be to go back to sleep. So I am well and truly awake for the games for the Rugby Championship, and we have also got, wait, what? No tries. This is bollocks as well, says Sebastian. Yeah, at this stage, we haven't had one, but now it's looking like it might open up. Uren has got that ball in the 22. Great scrum from the Bristol Bears because of the fact they didn't get the ball originally, but then it was Uren who was able to steal it. Thacker plays halfback now, gives it back to Vai. Once again, getting a carry, been busy in the second half so far. Uren passes it back to Sheedy, trying to link up with some of those backs. They haven't really been able to use that back line to their advantage in this game yet, Bristol. And it's going to be Sheedy dropping the ball. It's going to be available. Accidental offside. That's a knock on, though. And now we are going to be going back, and it is going to be the scrum for Saracens there. Are we going to get a try? Surely there's a try coming in this game. Normally, I said it at the start of the game. I was like, these Premiership Rugby games, normally we get a lot of tries. And I don't think this one will be any difference. But unfortunately, I was possibly a little bit wrong. Today is going to be another battle between the Box and the Wallabies, says Amore. It is indeed. And that game is going to be kicking off at 7:05 p.m. New Zealand time. But we are going to be covering it probably from around 6:30 or so, maybe a little bit earlier. We've got plenty to talk about in the build-up for that game. We are going to have the suit on because it is a big match. And it is going to be a very exciting one. Yep, out there playing badminton as well. Says Katie Dixon. And also we have got there. I can't unless it's hot today. I don't think I will go to sleep as well, says, I can't unless it's hot today, says Luke. So yeah, it's going to be tough here as well, I think, because it says we're sitting at 1 degrees Celsius here in New Zealand, but I don't think that's the case. I think we're probably sitting at around 10 or so at the moment, because if it gets too hot, then it is quite hard to sleep with the sun coming straight through the window. But Pat Lamb at the moment, they are in a chat to him for the Bristol Bears. It's going to be a scrum once again for Saracens, just inside of their 22. 15 points to the 9, all penalties so far for both sides. Also, we've had around 65 kicks so far in this match between the two sides going back and forth. It's been a game of force back at times, but we've also seen some very good running rugby from Charles Piutau is one name that comes to mind out of anyone on the field who has been able to have the most impact out there with the ball in hand. And now Davies feeding this ball in for Saracens. They've already run 3 scrum penalties. This one is going to be another. That is the 4th. And now it is going to be the chance to kick for the touchline here for Saracens, and more than likely Callum Sheedy will be the one who does that. Oh, sorry, not Callum Sheedy. Sorry, it will be Lazowski who will be kicking that one for touch. We have got, I was praising Sheedy just before I left, I suppose. Alex Lazowski deserves his fair share of dishonest praise as well, says Sebastian. Although so far, very decent game in terms of for the kickers, because Lazowski has kicked 5 from 6 and Sheedy, I think, has kicked 3 from 4 or something along those lines. But they are just showing the stat once again. Penalties conceded at the scrum at this stage. Saracens, they have been getting the better of them in the scrum time, the Bristol Bears, because they have had 4 penalties for Saracens in the scrum rather than just the 0 for Bristol Bears in this one as well. But at this stage now, it's going to be a line-out throw. It will be the man and the number 2 jersey once again, Wollenscroft, who will get the opportunity to throw this one. And the line-out, though, hasn't been going too well for them. They've thrown over the top twice so far in this one that has gone into the hands of the Bristol Bears. So they will be hoping that this one can find the right person going there. It has found their man in the number 4 jersey. So now they are looking for that rolling ball, trying to get a marching forward. They've got another advantage on the halfway line now, looking short side. Oh, it's a great tackle, and they are going to be going back for the penalty 50 metres out. This one is kickable for Alex Lazowski as well. Does he decide to take it on? And it would give them more of a lead. They would actually have a 9-point lead. No, they're kicking into touch now, which is good to see. They want to get themselves a try. I don't think a bonus point is going to be on the cards for either of these sides in this match. As for a bonus point, you need 4 tries. And it's going to be Riccioni coming off the field. It looks like he's a little bit injured, but I think it is just because of the fact he put in a big shift. And Alex Cleary is the man who is going to be replacing him in the number 18 jersey. He's a bit of a unit, Alex Cleary, that is for sure. At this stage now, that's going to be going in. Oh, it's stolen though by Luatua. And now it's going to be Thacker going on the short side. Not quite able to break the line though, but the Bristol Bears, they have got this ball once again just outside of their 22. Seemingly seems like nothing, or neither of these sides desire the bonus point, rather conservative play style as well, says Sebastian. Although now it's starting to open up. Saracen trying to run sideways, and it is going to be Alex Lewington up to the halfway line. Can they get themselves a try here? Saracens, the first of the match. Little kick him behind, grubber attempt. It's going to be going for chase there. And it's going to be dropped as well. Kick forward. Thacker under a huge amount of pressure here inside of his 22. Was a tackle. Bristol Bears has still got this one. And Thacker has done incredibly well to get that ball. We need to have all the pressure on him now. It's going to be Uren kicking this one up. Almost shut down by his opposite number, Davies, I should say, as well. And now it's going to be Lazowski passing it across to Billy Vodapola. Pinning the ears back, going hard at the line. Being able to make it to the halfway line. It's going to be an advantage and maybe a penalty if they decide to use it here. But first, they are going to be hitting it up a little bit more, Saracens, but they have still got that advantage. A little chip in behind. It's sitting up nicely. No, it's not. It has bounced forward. And now it's going to be the penalty high as well, says Moorcake. Welcome into the live stream, mate. Early morning start. 6:05 a.m. for you there. So it is great to see. It's 26 degrees today. Amazing weather as well, says Lisa. Be sure to make the most of it and get some sunshine, get some vitamin D. And yeah, as well, we have got there. Bristol only have 9 points. Dreadful by the sounds of it as well. Yeah, unfortunately, neither side have been able to break through the line. We're up to 58 minutes in this one. 11 penalties against Bristol. They've really given away quite a few in the second half. compared to Saracens. It was actually 9-9 at halftime. And Bristol Bears, I believe they led this match 6-0. So it's quite interesting the way that this game is going to be shaping up. Or maybe it was 9-3 that they were leading. They had a 6-point lead, and now they have a 6-point deficit with a kick to come for Lazowski here. We have got there when it's hot springs in the fall, or when it's hot in the spring. I fall asleep at like 2 hours as well because it's not like the hot weather at the moment because of winter as well, says Luke. And also we have got there, yeah, Hamish. I thought I'd get all my remarks now because come game tonight as well. Oh, sorry, yeah, I feel like I really messed that one up myself, and other regulars won't have a show as well, says David Devil. Although one thing that does benefit you guys, that one has gone over. So Saracens now going to be leading this game by a total of 9 points. That is going to be now meaning that the Bristol Bears will really have to step it up for the last few moments of this game. We still have 20 minutes left in this game, and Saracens, the fans are very happy for them. Of course, we got a lot of fans in attendance for this game as well. But mentioning that one, because of the fact that you guys have got that little kind of emoji next to your name, and also you come up in green for my chat, so I do actually get to see your messages a little bit more often now. I think that is something that I've got to probably do a bit more in the future, is try and make sure I read all of the messages from the members. I feel like I do decently, but I probably don't quite get all of them in. But anyone who has got that little green mark, it is standing out very nicely in the chat, that is for sure. But now it's going to be kicked downfield, taken nicely here by Bristol. It's going to be now Piatel trying to step on the halfway line. Can Bristol get themselves the first try of this match? Kicked him on by Yurden once again. Not sure if that's the best option. I mean, it's a decent kick. It's gone just outside of the 22, but it doesn't get them an attacking opportunity. Now Saracens have got the ball back. Going to be clearing, gives it to Billy Vunapola. At this stage, quite a few changes being made by the Bristol Bears. It is going to be Capon, Thomas, and also Bates making their way onto the field. That is for Lloyd. Also, it was Thacker and maybe Laheath, I think, was the other man who got taken off the field. We also got everyone has 1,000 yards stare out there as well, says Katie Dixon. And also we have got, no tries, mate, Sheedy and Lazowski are the busy lads tonight. And also we have got their first game, to be fair, but still should be better than that. Tell you what, this man already having a bit of an impact. Man in number 23 jersey for Bristol, who is actually not the man who was listed on their team sheet, I don't believe. I think he has got a different name there. Almost stolen. Yes, it is by Saracens in the breakdown. And now it's going to be kicked in behind by Tompkins. There's a lot of space back there. And it does mean now that Piatel is going to have to cover a lot of ground to get back there and kick this one into touch. And he has there. Didn't get too many meters on it, though. So now Saracens will have the attacking line out from about 32 meters out. Can they get a try? I'm waiting for it. I know that when we get one, we're probably going to get to see one or two more in this match. But that was big contact between the big boys out on the field. The replacements, the number 16, which was Will Capon, getting absolutely nailed by the opposite front row, which in the end was a replacement, Alec Cleary, who was, or Cleary, sorry, was a very big boy. But it looks like Wollenscroft is actually down at the moment, which is not ideal. Bit of cramp, because they have been running around plenty out there in this game because of the fact there's been so many kicks. They've been chasing the kicks all day, every day. Has a Rainbow Cup season finished? It has indeed, but now next week it is going to become the pro, or sorry, it's not going to become the pro. It is going to become the United Rugby Championship, and that is going to be the competition that will have the South African sides. Okay, they're actually having another look at this tackle. Replacement tie here. Oh, actually, Wollenscroft there. Wollenscroft there might get himself penalised because I think it was the case of both men were dropping, but Wollenscroft's shoulder almost hit the head. Or it hit the head, but he's very low down. So it is hard to say that maybe that would be, it's a tough one. What are they going to say here? Wayne Barnes is in charge. He's got a big decision here. He was dropping big time. He wasn't about, I'm crouching down, but then he made contact with the head. So unfortunately, I think the mitigating factors will be the factor of him being a lot lower, which might save him a little bit. But that first one does almost hit him high. And then the second one does come in and smack him in the face as well. So we're saying contact to the head. This is going to be at least a yellow, I think, at this stage by the looks of it. And we always got there. I was at the Munster versus Sarries a couple seasons back. It was a good bad game. The scoring, we won 10-3. It was that bad as well. There's kind of coin in. That is shoulder to the head. Even though he has dropped, I think it is going to be. Okay, so what they have said is the tackle dynamic has actually ended up being the case of that is why no foul play is the call there. So it's not a red, it's not a yellow, and it is going to be Saracens, who have now got the attacking line-out throw. Shoulder is large and too close to the head as well, says Katie Dixon. And shoulder to your head, that's a red card in today's game, says Luke. Although the only thing that saved him was the fact that the player was dipping down. He was kind of almost on his knees, I guess you could say, in terms of the height. So that is why that man is still out there. But the Bristol Bears fans are not happy. I'm shocked what as well, says Luke. And what as well in the chat from Katie Dixon. That is the call that they have decided to go with. And the referee, the crowd are not happy, but now Wollenscroft will be throwing this ball in for Saracens. I was actually in the stands for a scoreless rugby game, and it is an interesting one, a scoreless game. You have no idea how shattered the heart of a fan is looking at a 0-all final time. Surely they had to keep on playing or do something to try and get some points. Maybe it was just kicks after the game or something to give you something to cheer about. But now the Bristol Bears, it's going to be Luatua drawn pass. The man on the outside instead, it's going to be Ed Holmes cutting on the inside up to the 22 now in Bristol. That seems to have lit a fire under the men who are at ASHTON GATE, because they are going to be trying to get themselves the first try of the match. You can hear the crowd getting behind the mute in there. Passing it back now. It's going to be Charles Piatel with the step as well. Offload back Uden. Once again giving it off now. Oh, Piatel's down. Piatel's badly injured. I think it is a shoulder or a knee or something, but he is down. And it might hopefully just be cramp. And now going back once again. It's drawing past no Ed Holmes. He doesn't seem to get along with the number 23 because that is twice. He has not passed the ball out to him. Uden passes it back. Luatua. 7 phases in now. Number 7. Getting the carry there, Thomas. Surely the try is coming in this match very soon. It is going to be Will Capon once again with the carry. Uden passes it back out. I think it's going to be the number 23 for Bristol who will score. I think they're going to finally pass it out to him, and he is going to get the drawn pass opportunity. No look pass from Sheedy. Not smart. Unfortunately there. He was kind of trying to do a little bit of a fancy play, but instead ended up messing it up. Tompkins selling the dummy and then decides to kick it downfield. Oh, huge amount of space back there from Tompkins. If this one goes out, it would be a 50-22, but it has still stayed in the field of play. Now it's going to be back across field, a little bit of a juggle there from Luatua, who has been taken down by Saracens now inside of their own 22 here. Ball bouncing out. It's going to be Will Capon once again. A lot of pressure on him by Davies. Good clean out in the breakdown, though, from the Bristol Bears. I will read the chat at this stage. Once we do have the ball into touch, they have kicked it out. We have also got, good to see common sense as well. Says a Luke, and also should have been a yellow. Says Kanakoinen, and also we have got there and there. I guess because he is so large, they have to get rid. They have to get out their rugby side rules or slide rules as well, and do some rugby math about how low he can dip down as well. And Nilo, you have to be kidding, Sebastian, how they managed that. And come on, someone get a try for goodness sake, says David. And also we have got there. That was a horrible pass, says Katie Dixon, and this attack from Bristol is pure garbage, says Luke. Yeah, unfortunately, I would say Charles Piatel is the most dangerous player out on the field at the moment for Bristol. He did a double step there, just beating defenders for fun, but then he did end up staying down for a little bit. I think he may have maybe got a little bit of shock on the knee or something along those lines. You know how you sometimes, if you end up kind of not shattering your knee, but you're kind of jarring your knee, that's the word as well. But it is going to be their number 3 coming off the field, and that will be Jake Armstrong now making his way out onto the field. Vunipola giving a bit of a team talk. He will be trying to fire up the troops for this second half. They have still got a 9-point lead. Unless Bristol scores some form of points soon, they are going to be in a little bit of trouble later on in this match. They don't even get the bonus point at this stage. Bless both of these teams as well. And it is Charles Piatel being taken off the field, and that is going to be Randall replacing him. So that is a big sub, and you have to hope that that injury is not too serious for Charles Piatel. Gets a little bit of a high five from the man on the bike there, but he has been phenomenal in this game. Piatel made the most meters out of any player out on the field, probably by about double, other than maybe Thacker. Thacker actually had quite a few as well, but now it's going to be Wollenscroft. We'll be throwing that one straight down the middle, taken by Saracens, man taken out in the air, and it's a penalty. So now because of it, they will be able to kick this one and get themselves some more points on the board by the looks of it. Then Bristol will just be getting run away in this game, and Swinson going to be off the field, and Hunter Hill making his way out there for Saracens as well. So both sides emptying their benches almost at this stage, and you can see the disappointment on the face of it is the man in the number 8 jersey, Nathan Hughes, just taking the man out in the air. Unfortunately, Luatua getting thrown across, which did lead to the penalty we have got there. It's an achievement in its own, absolutely horrible. I went home not minding if I get hit by a car as well. Says it was a Bastion. Yeah, nil for a full length of rugby. Like, I guess in our modern day, even a game with no tries, I guess would be considered a little bit disappointing. And I don't want to say that in an offensive way, because the fact that at this stage this game is nil-all, or sorry, it is no tries being scored, and we're up to 64 minutes. But normally people want to see quite a few tries throughout a match, and this game has been kind of just a strategical grind by both sides. And anytime they get that attack going, there's a penalty. So that is one thing that they'll both have to work on, is that discipline, because Lazowski now has scored 21 points. He's going to be the leading point scorer after the first round of the Gallagher Premiership, and all he has had to do is just go up to the tee and keep on kicking that ball because of all the penalties that they have been able to win in this one for the Saracens. Oh, good Lord, as well. Says it, Katie Dixon, but now it's going to be kicked off. 11 penalties to 12, I think they have just said, is that situation of the amount of penalties. The last penalties of the 6, there have been a total, that's big contact on Votapolo, yeah. Total of 5 of the last 6 penalties have been against Bristol Bears, so the discipline really letting them down in this one. Driving forward once again here, Saracens still inside of their 22, and Bristol Bears, they need to get themselves some points on the board very soon, because 12 points behind. If 2 converted tries go over for them, they win this game, but we haven't seen a try yet. They need to stop kicking the ball back to Saracens. It is not the time for it. They've kicked it high again, and now it is going to be going sideways, straight into the hands of Saracens. So the strategy is a little bit off for Bristol in this game. They've given the ball back to Saracens anytime they have an attacking opportunity, and then Saracens just hang on to it. And they are saying, thanks very much, mate. We will just keep on in the ball up. Davies is going to be kicking it back to them. So now Saracens are the team that are giving the ball back to the Bristol Bears. The Bristol Bears can't afford to give this ball back. They can't kick this one. They need to attack from inside their own half. And it's going to be now in the hands of their number 9, Uden. Once again, going to be dragged down 40 metres out from their own line. They might kick here. There's going to be another kick here for them. Harry Randall kicking it in behind, straight into the 22 of Saracens, returning fire Davies. Because that's the thing, Saracens will kick it back all day because of the fact that they have got the 12-point lead. They don't need to do too much here. They can just hang on. But the Bristol Bears need to get the points. 66 minutes yellow as well, says Katie Dixon. It is indeed 21-9 in this game. No tries scored as of yet, and it will be the line-out throw here. For it will be, it was Will Capon throwing that one in, breaking the line. Almost was going to be Harry Randall. He's not a very large individual. Does anyone know how much Harry Randall weighs and how tall he is? Do let me know if you do know. But now Will Capon once again going to be hitting the ball up for Bristol. They need to find a line break. They need a little bit of an overlap or something. Lure to a drawing pass there. Forward, though, unfortunately, to Voy, and it would have been close to being a try if he had been able to get it there. 66 minutes into this game at the moment. We are waiting for the first try. It still hasn't quite come for either of these sides, but Saracens at this stage, they have got themselves a good lead. They lead them by 12 points, and it is just a question of, is there going to be a try in the second half? I am waiting to see, and hopefully we do get to see one very soon. I am just having a look in terms of to see Saracens at the moment. They are $1.01 favourites. I do see in this one. I just wanted to check to see what the odds had them at, because Bristol Bears, they are normally a favourite in pretty much every single game that they play, and this one was no different. They were the favourites going into this one. They're going for almost most amount of points by at least amount of tries as well. The 95 Rugby World Cup final was tryless as well, says David. What time, or sorry, not what time, what score was that one of that in that game? I feel like the time that the game kicked off was probably irrelevant for that question. But yeah, what was the score at the end of that 95 World Cup? And now once again, it's going to be in the hands of Tompkins, trying to step, not quite able to. Davies running onto the ball nicely here for Saracens. It's going to be one of their big forwards, not allowed to get the ball there. Voy kicked again by Davies, has been having a lot of kicks throughout this match. Going to be a challenge in the air. Oh, it's an awkward fall there, and it is anyone's game. So now it's going to be in the hands of, it was Morahan. Awkward fall, but luckily he has got back up now. It's going to be at the back line here. It's a loose ball, and it's going to be a knock-on by the Bristol Bears, and it's going to go back for the knock-on. It was a knock-on, but now they're going to continue running forward. And Bristol Bears, they are not complaining about that one, but I'm sure that was a knock-on. And it is going back now for the clear knock-on, and it will be Saracens with the ball only about 10 metres out from the line of the Bristol Bears. It was in the end passed back by Hughes. It was tapped on by him, and then from there ended up knocking it on. Although, actually, I guess it depends on how you look at it, because it did drop onto the boot, but because of the fact that he tried to kick it, I believe, was why the referee didn't call it as quickly as possibly. And we have got there as Owen Farrell not at Saracens anymore. He is at Saracens. He is just not playing this game alongside The likes of Vunipola also, they've got quite a few other players. Atoje also out at the moment. And what's up, G's? As well, says Harry, welcome into the live stream, mate. It is good to see you once again at this stage. 69 minutes into this game, and we haven't had a try yet, but Saracens in a very good attacking position on the field. But if they get that scrum penalty, they will kick that one over and they will have the lead by 15 points. So we don't want that to happen. We have got, sorry, I'm late. No worries, mate. It is good to see you nonetheless. And we have got plenty more rugby coming today as well, with the Rugby Championship games taking place a little bit later on tonight. So if you are new to this channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button, because we have got plenty of rugby. We will be covering the next game of the Gallagher Premiership. We will be covering will be the match that are taking place between Harlequins. No, sorry, I keep on saying Harlequins. They are in my mind at the moment, but it will be the game between Leicester and Exeter is the next match that we are covering. 15 points to 12 as well, says David. So yeah, that was 27 points in that game, and we have so far had 30 points from penalties in this one. We need a big, strong scrum from Bristol here, or else Saracens will be able to get themselves another scrum penalty, already having a total of 4 or 5 penalties at scrum time. Bristol Bears, they've been in a little bit of strife with that discipline, trying to keep themselves from getting completely out of this game, but it is starting to happen here. Sam Bedlow making his way out onto the field as well here for the Bristol Bears, and this is going to be an attacking position and a half for Saracens to be able to possibly get themselves a try. My tournament is today as well, or my tournament is today, says Harry. So hopefully you do have a very good few games. I believe you said it was 9 games of that tournament. It's going to be in for Saracens, going for a bit of a penalty. Not going to happen. It's going to be Vunipola breaking off the back, trying to shut him down, but he has been able to find the offload now out the back line. Is it going to happen? Is there going to be a try in this one? It's going to be a step from Morris, who is going to be tackled. Almost a rolling ball forming there. But Saracens have got this ball available once again. It is going to be Davies goes back, opening up the opportunity. Little grubber of mine is going to be sitting up, and it's going to be the try for Lewington. And we've got one in this match. I don't even care who scores it, but Lewington able to get it. And it is the try to Saracens. The try has come. The floodgates have been opened. 70 minutes into the first game of round 1 of the Gallagher Premiership, and we have got ourselves a try, ladies and gentlemen, and Saracens, that secures them this one with only 10 minutes left. But Alex Lewington, the man who was able to score it there, and the number 14 jersey, little kick in behind, very nicely done in the end by Lazowski, set up, and that is the try. And tell you what, it wasn't just a stock standard try either. It was actually very technically done by Lazowski, and Lewington out on the wing, the man and the other man with the names that start with W's were able to get it as well. Hey, Kiwi Lads, question, how much rugby is on today? There is so much. Even the games that we aren't covering on this channel, there is plenty. There are 2 Bunnings NPC games today, which unfortunately we won't quite be able to cover because I will have to sleep at some stage so that I can get prepared for the big night ahead of us. But then also there is going to be the games of the Rugby Championship, Gallagher Premiership, top 14, you name it. It is happening today, and the same is happening tomorrow. We've got a whole heap more games, but now Lazowski going to have the opportunity to convert this one here. He's actually missed it. So 26 for Saracens and 9 for the Bristol Bears. And let's go as well, says Harry, and try as well. In the chat, I found the Rugby World Cup 2003 teddy bear on eBay. Should have been, or should be here in a few days. It has the cutest little yellow hoodie, and the tags are still attached as well, says Katie Dixon. So that is a bit of a find. And ouch, oh well done them as well, says Sebastian. Oh, of course. I just realized that you don't go for Saracens. So that celebration of myself was more for the try, I should say. Oh, that's a little bit of a miscommunication there for Saracens. And they just look at each other and go, what was happening there, mate? But it is going to be Earl off the field, and it's going to be Riffle making his way out there. And thank God as well, says David. The sun has come out. The tries have come out as well. The Gallagher Premiership. It concentrated on it last time. Not going to do it this time. So I'll just end up focusing on myself, I guess, in that regard. But it is a try for Saracens, the first of the match, and it was scored by Alex Lewington as well. Bonk as well, says Katie Dixon in the chat. So now Bristol. Tell you what, I did mention though, once we see a try, I was expecting 1 or 2 extras. So this could be the opportunity now for the Bristol Bears to get themselves a try in this game. And they need to get themselves within 7. I feel like every point is crucial in this Gallagher Premiership season. So Bristol, they would be disappointed to leave this game with 0 points. We have to wait and see. But now it is going to be going back into the hands of, it was Leula who had that carry. It's going back across field. Harry Randall gives it now. Nathan Hughes and the ball up as well now. Round the side it's going to be. Ooh, it was close to Aluatua, getting closer and closer to the line. It's going to be Vai now. Like he is going around the side, and this is looking like the closest that the Bristol Bears have been to the line for a very long time. A little bit of a spin there from the number 7. Almost dropped that ball, but it is still available for the Bears. Now going to be using those big forwards. Looks like it will be Will Capone passes it back now to Hughes, whose number has fallen off his back, but he is getting close to the line now for the Bristol Bears, only a metre short. Who is going to be able to get over the line? It's Vai, sells the dummy. He's going to be just short of the line once again, though. Who wants this try for Bristol? It is looking like it's going to be one extremely soon. Ball passed out, terrible pass, and it's a knock-on from Hughes, unfortunately. Can you tell me what time is the Bunnings EPC? So the first game is going to be kicking off, and I believe it is a 2:05 p.m. kickoff today, and then the next game is going to be a 4:35. So the first game is Wellington versus Taranaki, which should be a very good game. And then the second game will be Northland versus Tasman, which may be a little bit more one-sided. Kate's on every stream. She is indeed. She is well and truly here for every single live stream that we have got on the channel, and it is hugely appreciated. David said, hey, Hamish and friends, I'm going to get myself ready to go to Tauranga. See you later. As well says David, good luck to your side, mate. Hopefully the Waka can get themselves a win there. And we have got there, How's Vunipola, 28. He looks 60 as well. And punched the dummy in the face, says Harry. Although I will have to pump up the dummy because he's a little bit flat at the moment, unfortunately, there. Bristol looking to become the biggest underachievers in Premiership history. As well as there's Kanakoinen. And also in there we have got in the chat, have a good one, brother, from Katie Dixon with the ball and the Kieran emoji as well. 5 metres out here, Saracens going to have the scrum feed. It's gone down in the front row. It was almost going to be a penalty. Wayne Barnes getting close to blowing the whistle, but now it is going to be going back into the hands of Olezowski, and he will be looking for that touchline. Can Bristol get themselves one? Let's see whether or not they can. We have got on the EV live stream as well, says Brandon. We have got quite a few of you guys who do tune in very regularly onto the channel, including the Rugby Championships or the Rugby Championship games that we are going to have later on tonight. Bristol just proved they don't deserve this. Honestly, will be a disservice. Tell you what, I'm not sure why I said diversive. Disservice if they walked away with some from this as well, says Sebastian. Yeah, you would say that Saracens have been the better team on the day. Saracens still looking like the better side in terms of that kicking battle. I've said it quite a few times. Bristol Bears have just kicked it too often. It's a penalty to Saracens once again, and it is for the player pushing for trying to get that ball in the air. Thank you, Katie, as well, says Brandon. Also, we have got Harry has said no as well in the chat. But yeah, at this stage, Saracens have been playing a little bit better. Bristol have been kicking the ball away without really looking to get it back, unfortunately. It's similar to what South Africa did in that game up against Australia. They ended up just giving the ball away, but not being able to turn it into anything from there. But now it is going to be the line-out throw for Saracens. Once again, can they get themselves another try? Yeah, what's got there, Harry? As it said, you are not a member, although he is still here for every live stream. It is just he hasn't got that little badge next to his name, like Katie Dixon in the chat, and also those emojis. I think I can access the emojis for myself if I go through YouTube, but through my live streaming software, I can't actually put the emojis in myself. Once again, going to be an offload from Vunipola. Can Saracens get themselves another? I want to see more tries in this one as well. And now at this stage, it is going to be Lazowski passing it back, linking up Tompkins on the outside because it's the Lewington who was able to score the first try of the match, towing it forward, loose bouncing ball as well, and all he can do there is run the ball into touch. Unfortunately for him, it was O'Connor. So because of it, now it will be a 5-metre line out for Saracens. And we have got there Brandon with the little emoji next to his name as well from Katie Dixon. Saracens going to score as well, says Brandon. And at this stage, with 5 metres out from the line, there is a very good chance that they will be able to do so. Maybe, tell you what, no, it's off the cards. I was going to say maybe they can work their way towards that bonus point, but I think it is just a little too late for this one. But it is now going to be Ben Harris making his way out onto the field. And also it will be Manu Vunipola getting a late opportunity. And this one, Brandon, is from, it is the Rainbows as well, says Harry. At this stage now, it is going to be going in. And they are going to have a good opportunity for a rolling maul here. Saracens is in the hands of Cleary at the back, and he has a big individual passes it back a little bit further to the replacement Barrington. Or actually, sorry, that would have been Pifiliti who had that ball available there. Luatua off the field for Heenan as well. Now it's going to be Tompkins, flick out the back. Tried to do the one that Bowden Barrett did to Luke Jacobson, but he wasn't quite able to link up. And we have also got 10 for everybody in the chat. You're all amazing. I love the Kiwi Lads community as well, Sebastian. I do as well, mate. And it is absolutely awesome that you guys are here for these live streams. No matter the competition, no matter the time of day, you guys are here for these live streams, and it is absolutely awesome to see you guys regularly tuning in, and hopefully we do get to see you guys later on as well. Saracens playing with steroids in their system as well, says Luke. I mean, that doesn't explain why Bristol Bear keeps on kicking the ball back to them, though, unfortunately. But now they're looking like they're going to run it out a little bit here. It's going to be in the hands of Monahan. Going back, Randall passes it across to the replacement. It would be Jake Armstrong, I believe, who just had that carry for the Bristol Bears. Randall once again passing it back across field. Oh, it's an awkward fall for the man in number 22 jersey. Almost stolen for Saracens, is it? No, wasn't quite able to get that ball. Can they get the one, Bristol? They've got 3 minutes to do so. Going to be going back. Going to be a kick behind. Sheedy going for the cross kick, but it's going to be claimed nicely by the number 21. Not quite able to link up, though. And it's going to be a knock-on advantage here for the Bristol Bears. And they're going to have this ball only 5 minutes out from their line. We have got there. What is your favourite music and video? KT as well. Says Brandon. And also, we love you too, brother. Says KT Dixon to Sebastian. And also, cheers, Sebastian, likewise. And the chat. And how's it going, brother? Hope you are well. Says it was a Sebastian. And also the 10 and the Kieran emoji, the Billy and the George. And now, and I have to say, the Kieran emoji, I think, is still my favourite just because of the history behind it, because of the fact that he's been here all the time. But that George emoji sneaking up there, it's quite entertaining looking at the Georges going across with them, got it with the crying face and whatnot. Let's go there. We should put in a good word for you at Cheltenham image as well, says Kanakawainen. I feel like this is going to be a dumb question to ask, but where is Cheltenham? Do let me know. Did you see a swimming game? As well, says Brandon. What swimming game are we talking? I know the last swimming game that I played was probably London 2012 on Esports 360. You mate yourself as well, says Harry. But at this stage now, it is going to be the scrum for Bristol. 2 minutes left in this game. They are only 5 metres out from their own line, and they have had 5 scrum penalties against them. The front row has gone down, and it is going to be the penalty to Bristol Bears now, so they will be able to kick this one downfield. It looks like he is going to be lining it up. Wasn't quite from the mark, but Wayne Barnes was like, you know what, we'll just let it slide. And 45 metres out now, Bristol Bears are going to have an opportunity to have another chance. Cheltenham is where the horse racing happens. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. Because I know people have said that I should do Melbourne Cup flow streams when it does come around because of the fact that I talk super duper quickly at times on these live streams. And now it's going to be another throw in for Will Capone. But yeah, 4 penalties for Saracens in the scrum. And then just the one for the Bristol Bears, their first scrum penalty. And just there, it's going to be once again Nathan Hughes trying to hit the ball up, but it just hasn't quite been happening for them. Swimming game is on after the rugby yesterday. As well, says Brandon, I did not see any of the swimming into that one, and we have got Bristol out of joke. Says Luke, although it is the first game back for them. So maybe once they get the likes of Radradra and everyone back, and that back line. Piatel was a little bit injured by the looks of it when he came off the field, so hopefully he will be available. Randall sells a big dummy, going through the gap, the little halfback, and he's trying to link up with the other players. There's a man on the outside. They've dropped the ball again, Bristol. And you have to say they do not deserve to get that bonus point for being within 7 there. Harry in the end, Harry Randall having a brilliant run, selling the dummy, goes himself through the 2 big replacement front row. But then, unfortunately, he passed the ball. It was a sitter there. And he just dropped it, unfortunately, for the man in the number 17 jersey. I believe it was Thomas keeping up with him there. My favourite music. How about my top 5? It is BATB, metal, bluegrass, Celtic rap, and Mexican metal as well, says Katie. And also Bristol had something wrong with their hands here. They haven't been able to hold the ball to save themselves, unfortunately, in this game, Bristol so far. And Hamish for Epsom as well with the 10 out of 10 from Sebastian. Yeah, it's confirmed they are a joke. As well, says Luke. Yeah, unfortunately, that comment that you put originally came through before they ended up knocking that ball on, and then just went wrong for them once again here, Bristol. So they will have plenty to learn off from this game. They would straight away be in that situation of going, right, we can't kick the ball away without trying to get it back. And also, they are going to kick this ball into touch here, Saracens, in their first game at ASHTON GATE. It's a disappointing one for the Bristol Bears. They have lost this game 26 points to the 9. There was only the 1 try in this match, which means no bonus points will be on the cards. But Saracens at this stage will sit top of the Gallagher Premiership table. And at this stage, a lot of penalties. Like I mentioned, huge amount of penalties throughout this game. But the Bristol Bears, they were able to get themselves a win in this one. Did I say the Bristol Bears were able to get the win, or Saracens? I think I may have said the wrong name just then. But at this stage now, we will look through some stats to do with this match as well. Wallabies versus Springboks. I'm so happy as well, says Brandon. Yep, we are going to be coming through for that match as well. Should be a good one between the two sides. That is for sure indeed. At this stage, I will get those stats up for you guys, GG, both teams as well. Says that Katie Dixon, I'm confident Munster versus Sharks won't be as bad as this was, as well. Says Gunnar Coyne in, and also going to go to the tournament piece as well, Harry. So good luck for that tournament, mate. Hopefully you do very well indeed with that one. And we always got there. I just woke up as well. Says Jacob, welcome, or Jason, sorry, welcome into the live stream. Is Theo Strand playing? He is not. He was not out there for either of these sides in this match. There were a few players missing for both sides throughout this one. So maybe we're in that situation of, as we get a few more weeks into the competition, we will get to see a lot more of these players end up scoring themselves some tries indeed. But Alex Lewington, the man who was able to score the first try of the match for it was Saracens. So very nicely done indeed for that man. But the stats, we are waiting for them to come through. I was just waiting to see whether or not they did update it, because they said Piatel only had a total of 5 or so meters carry, which is not the case. I've got him only for 28, but a big stat here is defenders beaten. He was able to beat 9. He had a massive run down the wing, though, and they haven't really accounted for that one. But Harry Thacker also having quite a few running meters, 35 with 4 defenders beaten in this one, and Nathan Hughes, 27 meters carried with 15 carries in this match. Very impressive from him. Other than that, though, Nick Tompkins the most for Saracens with the 15. Alex Lewington able to score the 1 try of this match, Super Rugby as well, says Brandon. It is coming in February, which is very exciting indeed. 16 tackles made by Billy Vunipola with 2 turnovers, 1 best on the field for Saracens in terms of those numbers. Also 15 tackles made by Ben Earl, but he did miss 5 of those ones, and not missing a single tackle was Nick Tompkins. So he had a very solid game in the midfield as well. Munster are a try machine. They won't disappoint as well, says Sebastian. I hope that that statement doesn't backfire, and we do get to see plenty of tries in that game as well that is taking place next week. But 63% of the possession went the way of the Bristol Bears. 27 defenders beaten to the 4. Looking at those stats, clean break 4-1, and also they had more offloads in this game as well. They had to make a whole heap less tackles, missed a whole heap less tackles, but they did not win this game, and the penalties were the big problem for them. 13 penalties conceded by the Bristol Bears in this one compared to the 6 of the Saracens. And that is a big number indeed. So you got to remember that that is not what you want to see when you are looking for yourself to get a good start to the season. But nonetheless, I think we are getting close to the end of this live stream. We have got on when they play the Smurfs in the Far East on the of the Emerald Isle, as well as this kind of going in for the Munster side. It's going to be exciting though. Munster, they've got quite a few South African players, and also they're going to be playing a South African side, I will say. Bristol are getting booed off. Yeah, unfortunately for them, handling errors were shocking in this game. The kicking game was not as strategic and as kind of, kind of as precise is the word kind of that I am after. It wasn't the word I was thinking of, but it will do. Precise as it normally is for Bristol in this one. Tell you what, we're going to open up the curtain. Because the fact, look at that, it's a beautiful sunny day here in my little small city indeed. But we are going to be back later on tonight for the Rugby Championship. Should be a very good game of rugby indeed. For that one, bedtime Kiwi lads, it is indeed. How much do you guys like me? We like you very much here in the chat, mate. And we have got there, have a good sleep for Hamish as well. And Hamish, for our first Premiership stream, I have to congratulate you and thank you for commentating this like a Southern Hemisphere game. Simply amazing stuff, says Sebastian. Thank you very much, mate. I do appreciate that. Because of the fact, at the start of this live stream, the worst thing I think was the first 5 minutes. I had a shocker. I did a Monsters Inc. impression saying Lazowski, but I learned that his name is pronounced Lazowski. So that would be unfortunate. I feel like there's going to be a comment straight away on this live stream after it's gone live, and someone will be like, this guy knows nothing about Premiership Rugby. And I'll be like, you're right, unfortunately, but I want to learn. So that is what we have got. See you for the gauntlet as well, says Katie Dixon. And also we have got there. Would be great if you do at Hamish as well. I'll watch the replay with your commentary as well, says Kanakoin. And I will definitely be doing those United Rugby Championship games as long as they show them here in New Zealand. That is, Sky should reserve or get some sort of rights. I believe they're always very late with confirming, but if they don't, I'll have to get a VPN out. I have to find a way of watching these games because I am not missing that competition. Should be phenomenal. The first game of the competition between the Lions and Zebre, I think we are actually going to do on the Kiwi Lads Sport channel, which is a little bit of an interesting one. But the reasoning behind that is because we do not want to risk getting a copyright strike on the main channel before the Springboks versus All Blacks. That is just, that game is huge. So we wouldn't want to kind of do a live stream beforehand that gets a copyright strike that we can't have removed till after because I would hate to miss that game between the All Blacks and the Springboks, that is for sure. We have got there, we like you a lot, Brandon. But what is even more important is how much you like yourself. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk as well, says Katie Dixon. And also we have got there, good stream image as well, says Gunnar Coyne. And thank you very much, mate. Do appreciate you being here for this one. Never mind, Leinster, Munster are more than capable to outplay them any time of the day as well, says Sebastian. But yeah, nonetheless, anyone who does see the score here, 26 points to Saracens to the 9 of the Bristol Bears in this game. It was at ASHTON GATE, but there was only one try in it, and it was Alex Lewington who was able to score it. And at the end of the day, just the one try, but it is the first game of the season. It's always going to be a little bit rusty, and the Bristol Bears, they will be able to find their footing a little bit later on in this one. I realised that that light, oh, it actually does a little bit. I thought that it was possibly one of those ones that didn't really do too much. What about this one? Tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, perfect example. Lighting is important, I guess, unless I just sit here in the darkness like this. Tell you what, that really makes the rings, or the dark rings under the eyes come out, doesn't it? We turned all those back on very quickly indeed, but we have got Leinster in there in the chat from Katie Dixon. But nonetheless, I do thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. I'm not sure what's happening with my arms, but I'm going to keep on moving them. And we are going to be moving and grooving all our way to the bed. And then from there, we are going to be going to sleep for a few hours, get them back up and doing the game between, it will be Australia and New Zealand. Although first, I need to make thumbnails. So we'll do the thumbnails first, and then I will go to bed. But nonetheless, thank you all very much for tuning in. Hope to see you tomorrow. Hope to see you today. It is today. Today is the day that the games are going to be taking place, mate. It's too early in the morning. Go back to sleep as well, says Immortal. That's exactly what the plan is, mate. It is early indeed. The sun is up at the moment, and I am ready to crash once again. I only got a few hours sleep so far, so yeah, hopefully nice little sleep coming, even just shutting my eyes. I have to do the thumbnails with my eyes closed, I think. Feels a lot better. Indeed, sleep well, Hamish. Thanks again in Australia versus Springboks. 7:05 p.m. is when the kickoff is. We are going to be starting. How long do you guys want for the start of the game? Do let me know. Pip has put the thumbs up as well. Maybe happy with the result for the Saracens in this game. Alex Lewington scoring the first try and only try of the match as well. But how much build-up do you guys want? Do you guys want a little bit more? Because normally we start at 6:30, but I'm kind of keen to start a little bit earlier on and just kind of do a little bit more chat. Maybe if it's only maybe 5 minutes prior, 6:25 could be the kickoff time. What about NBC games? There are 2 games on today, but unfortunately, I'm not sure whether or not I am going to be able to do them, because I was originally going to do Wellington versus Taranaki, but that was working on the theory of getting 6 hours sleep last night. But instead, I only really got about maybe 3. So I'm probably going to be catching up on a little bit more sleep. So I'll see how I go, actually. We might be able to get up for that Wellington versus Taranaki game, depending on how we're going. That isn't a guarantee, though, but that game would be at 2 if we were to get up for that one. But no guarantees. I may still be sleeping at that stage. But yeah, we have got CMA. I'm a different breed. I'm wide awake after 3 hours of sleep as well. So it's like, that is definitely very impressive. And 30 minutes early, says Brandon, as well for that one. 30 minutes early. Wait, so does that mean you want me to start at 6? 30 minutes earlier than last time. I think we'll go 6:25 maybe. Rugby Mafia don't need no sleep as well, says Katie Dixon. Although the bags under my eyes would say otherwise. I think a couple of Red Bulls, you'll be right as well, says Immortals. And I think it's more trying to do the marathon, because if I do, I think it's going to be 7:05 is the first kickoff of the Rugby Championship. 10:05 is the second. And then after that, I believe we are going to be covering a game at 2 a.m. between Leicester and also Exeter Chiefs. So then from there, maybe there's even a game after that, maybe 40 minutes early. But make sure you're ready for the stream, no rushing as well, says Sebastian. And we are going to have the suit. We are going to have the shave face. And we are going to have a sponsor. Is a little bit of a spoiler for you guys on that live stream. Our first ever sponsor on the channel. It is going to be a one-time kind of a video or kind of one-time live stream type thing, and we will see how it goes. But yeah, we have got a sponsor. Very exciting stuff for that live stream. We got a little video for halftime. There's a little bit of a spoiler, but it's not really any too crazy. It's just pretty much a ad read pretty much for that halftime of that one. My voice is trying to disappear at this stage. At least a few hours sleep before the Red Bull. Oh, don't want to give yourself a heart murmur as well. That's the thing. People always say when you have a Red Bull and then try and sleep, or when you've had Red Bull and alcohol, I think it is, and your heart just goes brrr, as you go and see you guys as well. Says Gunnar Coyne, and also a sponsor. Oh my goodness, as well. Manscaped says Immortals. You may have called it Immortals in that situation. I feel like I don't really need to hide it that much. I don't think at this stage. Yes, we did get a sponsor from Manscaped, and they are the ones who have sponsored that live stream. See you guys as well, says Gunnar Coyne. And also at this stage, Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for the suit. Although I have to say it's terrible timing in some regards. And the only reason I say that is because I'm going to have to shave my face to just a mustache for that live stream. And we are going to be advertising a razor that is used for not your face, but for somewhere else. So because of that, it's going to seem like I shaved my face using that razor. But that is not the case. It is just the factor of the timing being a little bit off. Big love to you all as well. Says Sebastian, oh heck yeah. Says Katie Dixon also knew it as well. They sponsor almost everyone. It's like, and yeah, the Kiwi lads, they have decided to give us that sponsorship as well, which we will not complain about. We are happy enough with that result. That is a sure. And oh my goodness, it makes sense now why you're shaving. No, because you're not supposed to use it on your face. That was for the forfeit last week, but I feel like people will think that I have used it on my razor for your balls, says Luke. And also big love as well, says Katie Dixon. So pretty much people will think that I'm using it on my face, but the case is I'll probably use a different razor, although I'm not even sure if I can say that I use a different razor for that because of the fact, did they give you some free shavers? They did give me the newer one, the Lawnmower 4.0, which I am going to be advertising on their live stream. So if anyone's in need, I guess I should say, of a razor, I got the Superman thing going on as well. Yeah, so if anyone's in need of a razor of any sort, be sure to use our discount code that I will be revealing a little bit later on. Although I guess, do I get a little bit sneaky? I guess I could get a little bit sneaky and mention it now. It's free advertising, but we don't mind in that regard for this live stream. So pretty much, if you do use the code in all caps, Kiwi lads, no space, I'll put it in the cat. In the cat? I won't put it in the cat. That is something else. That is not ideal, but we will put that there. Pretty much, if you use that code on Manscaped's website, you will get 20% off and free shipping for your order. But we will be going a little bit more in depth on our next live stream. But yeah, nonetheless, I do thank you all very much for tuning in. I do appreciate all the support you guys have been showing. And be sure to check out those live streams a little bit later on tonight because they're going to be exciting. Those games, the Springboks taking on the Wallabies, doesn't get much better than that. I am excited. I won't be able to sleep once I have made that thumbnail because I'll just be thinking of all of the matchups. I've got to get rid of that part. I could just chop it clean off indeed. And 20% off, oh hell yeah, as well, says Katie Dixon. I believe it is actually worldwide free shipping with it as well, which is pretty awesome. But in New Zealand and Australia, they actually have even more sales happening at the moment on their website, which is one of those interesting ones that maybe if they do end up in that situation of, I was going to say words, but I've forgotten them. But yeah, pretty much you can also get up to around 65% off in New Zealand and Australia. But yeah, it's exciting stuff. We'll have to wait and see how that one goes. But nonetheless, I do thank you all very much for tuning in. I will see you all later on for the live streams, and we will see you all very soon indeed.